Esteem and honor to the Most High Yahweh, where Yahushua HaMashiach, John 5:39. Then Proverbs chapter 6, verse 16. We didn't even get to the point where I did with, but we could try to, Most High, we're going to talk about it a little bit. Because I know some of y'all got that pressure from your people in a lot of areas about a lot of things. That's why I say I can't, certain instances I can give you a little, because I can't relate.
Because he would, oh, you've been doing this the whole life.
Oh, that's probably the number one thing they hit you with. Grandma been eating pork for 95 years and she still living.
That's weak,
That's crazy.
That's a weak
My
one.
mom came home sick as a dog.
Yeah.
Don't eat the food we brought from Auntie Jackie's house. I don't know what she put in it. Must have been some pork. Yeah, you eat it and you sick. She came in the house walking like an old lady, like.
That might have been because how mad she was before she left.
I don't know, cause she don't eat pork, so.
Oh yeah, that'd did it. Cause boy, if you don't eat something that's your stomach, that junk gonna get you. And you know nigga love to put pork in everything.
She should have known we were going to Barrels and Georgia. She should have known what time it was.
Who you telling? I mean, one time we went to Bono's and Nell ordered some green beans. And when I got them green bean back to the house, she got back. She told me they got pork in it. I say, nigga, that's Southern green beans. That's what niggas do. You from the South. You should know this. And they said, I'm taking them back. I say, well, shoot, nigga, go ahead. I ain't walking up there straight. You should have checked. Because, boy, these people put bacon on anything. They put bacon on the Oreo cookie, they get away with it. Shoot. Better read the menu. Ask twice. You notice how them people look at you crazy when you ask, is it bacon on this? Is it bacon on this?
Now, when it's bacon on it, you be like, take the bacon off this one.
What? You don't want no bacon? No, nigga, I don't want no bacon, nigga. It be bacon. I don't care what it is. You ain't never seen beef bacon? Beef bacon.
Beef jerky, yeah.
Beef bacon.
Beef jerky.
No, beef bacon. I've seen beef bacon at Winn-Dixie, nigga. Beef bacon. My homeboy done caught beef bacon. Shoot, fat boy done caught beef bacon. It's definitely different, I'll tell you that.
That doesn't sound chewy.
That's what I said, beef jerky.
That sounds so chewy.
Yeah, beef bacon, pork bacon, turkey bacon. You can flush it down the toilet for me. I don't care for it.
I'll take the turkey.
I'm not a fan. You say,
I take the turkey.
I'll pass. I'm not a fan of bacon. Let's roll, man.
Search the scriptures for any of you think you have eternal life, and they which testify of me. And you will not come to me that you might have life. I receive not honor from men, but I know you that you have not the love of Elohim in you. I will come in my Father's name, and you receive me not. If another shall come in his own name, him you will receive. How can ye believe which receive honor one of another, and seek not the honor that cometh from Elohim only?
Yep.
Do not think that I will accuse
That's
you
good.
of the Father.
That's good. Come on to Proverbs chapter 6, verse 16. We're going to continue dealing with the imagination of the thoughts. As we looked at the other day with Proverbs, just to make sure everybody remembers, when he says the thought of foolishness is sin, what is he talking about?
Devising a plan.
Your plans, your devices, your inventions, and the things that you set to do. Because you plan in folly, so therefore it becomes sin. That's why he say it's not what goes in a man, but what comes out. Because you plan in folly in your heart. That's why he said if you look upon a woman with lust in your heart, you done already committed adultery because you plan in folly. You already planning on how you going to sleep with this man's wife. You already planning how you going to steal these people's stuff. You already planning on how you going to worship an idol god. Because I done told you this before. You can't do nothing without thinking about it first. It's very rarely that people do stuff spur of the moment. You know what I'm saying? I think about the only thing I can think of that people do spur of the moment is maybe murder somebody in a fit of rage. Like you got angry, you didn't think that all the way out. You just got mad and let your emotions overcome. There's not too many. If anybody can add anything, that's the only thing I think off the top of my head. Yeah. I give you that. A lot of women definitely do. Yeah, I said a lot of women definitely do that on that old shopping impulse. I wasn't planning on shopping, but I seen a sign that said there was a sale, so I'm just gonna walk on in here, see what they have. The next thing you know, they bought 14 items that they did not plan on purchasing before they left the house.
Especially to go to Target.
And then they come back home.
Ain't gonna turn down no butt.
Huh?
It's a whoremonger.
Yeah, but a whoremonger is planning on getting some butt every time he step out the door. Now, how he go about getting that butt is a whole nother matter. You know what I'm saying? But he already got an intent that if a woman show any manner of interest, want some penis? What'd you say? You know what I'm saying?
You're right. That is different. That is different.
Not quagmire. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like I say, it's very the shopping's definitely one, but you know that's not well, it could be a bad thing if you didn't tell your husband beforehand if you're married that you went ahead and dropped $100 in here. But
well, if you got rent, you need to pay. Yeah.
Well, if you got shopping in, you got rent. That's just irresponsible. You know what I'm saying? But
What you said?
if you got rent, you need to pay. You got impulse shopping.
That's just, that's
But I know this. I know this here though. I know this here. I've done been in the store with Fat Boy Mama. Fat Boy be like this here, Mom. Let's go, because he already know what's gonna happen. She see this here. She came in here for dish detergent. Next thing you know, we in here for 45 minutes. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, I done been. I like this here. See, my mama ain't never did all that. That nigga go in there get what she gonna get, and we gone. You know what I'm talking about? But back in the days though, they like to walk around that mall just looking. My knee be hurting so bad. Golly, we been in here 3 hours. Y'all ain't bought nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, why did we come here if we ain't buy nothing? You know what I'm saying? I don't want to come here. I don't want to look at it and be like, ooh, I want that toy. No, I don't want to see the toy.
I'm about to sit right here, y'all.
My daddy used to do me like that.
Cause shoot, messing around with me at a certain age, I was gonna steal that toy. Who? If I could fit it in my pocket. Straight. You know, one time, man, we went to Toys R Us. They didn't want to buy me no wrestling, man. I stole that Hulk Hogan. Showed it to Naisha in the back seat of the car. She said, "Where you got that from?" Straight up. Shoot, I ain't ashamed, nigga. I was 10, 11 years old. That's what it was. They ain't want to buy it. Don't worry about it. I'ma buy it for the FRRE, nigga. Put him with my collection. I was gonna steal the wrestling ring from Pick and Save if I could have figured out how to get it from up out of there. Straight. Nigga, right over there on Lone Star, nigga. Yeah. Yeah, it's already on, baby. Let's roll. Proverbs 6:16. Shoot, nigga, I used to steal wrestling men, boy. You would have went in that Family Dollar that would cross the street from Mayfair back in the day. Oh, they WCW men ain't had no belt.
I was a Hot Wheel. I'm with the Hot Wheels.
I used to go into Eckers and steal. I used to go into Eckers and steal baseball cards. Put the packs right in my shoes. I went in there at 5'7", came out 5'11" to 3/4. You know what I'm talking about? Come on, man.
It said these 6 things that you will hate.
What do you hate, man?
7 are abomination under him.
Go ahead.
A proud look,
Uh-huh.
a lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood.
Yes, sir.
A heart that devises wicked imaginations.
See, what I was just telling y'all, them was my wicked imaginations. I put plans together to go steal them toys. Come on.
It said feet that be swift and run into mischief.
Mm-hmm.
A false witness that speak lies, and he that soweth discord among the brothers.
That's good, right? So he's saying a heart that devises wicked imaginations. Let's look at something. Let's look at the opposite of that in 1 Chronicles 29 and 14. Make it 10. We read the whole prayer. It ain't gonna hurt nobody. Chronicles 29 and 10, first one.
It said, wherefore David bless you who before all the congregation. And David said, Baruch be thou Yahuwah Elohim of Yasharah, our Father forever and ever. Thine, O Yahuwah, is greatness and the power of the esteem and victory and the majesty for all that is in Shamahim and in the earth.
What that sound like to y'all? That sound familiar to y'all? What it sound like? That sound like the same thing that the Mashiach said in Matthew, don't it? Read it to him again.
It said, thine, O Yahuwah, is greatness and the power and the esteem and the victory and the majesty. For all that is in Shamahim and in the earth is thine. Mm-hmm. Thine is the kingdom, O Yahuwah, and thou art exalted as head above all. Mm-hmm. It said, both riches and honor come of thee, and thou reignest over all. And in thy hand is power and might. And in thy hand it is to make great and to give strength unto all.
Listen what it said. In thy hand is to make you what?
Is to power and might. In thy hand is to make great and to give strength unto all.
To give strength unto who?
Unto all.
Now let's go to 1 Timothy chapter 2 if I'm not mistaken. Pick me up at about verse 4.
it down.
Got something on your face.
He said Timothy 2.
2 and 4, yeah.
It says, who will have all men to be saved and to come into the knowledge of the truth?
Who will have what?
All men to be saved.
Some men? Or all men?
All men.
Go ahead.
To be saved and come to the knowledge of the truth. For there is one Elohim and one mediator between Elohim and man, and that man is Yahushua Mashiach.
So if he want all people to be saved, wouldn't we think that that would be his strength? See, this something that I had last night that I meant to hit and I didn't get to it. We need to go to Luke chapter 1. I want to say verse 47. Verse 46. We still holding 1 Chronicles 29. The reason why, like I said, I forgot what I was in the gym when the thing with Proverbs 24 came across my mind. You know what I'm saying? And I said we still have grabbed things out of the law, which is to the detour. 'Cause I've been telling you, everything that comes down to is your thoughts or your plans or your inventions, the things that you think up in your. Because a evil thought is not a sin itself. That's another reason why I felt like we had to deal with that. Because if you read that in English, then you think that if you think something that's foolish, you sin it. When really he was telling you, if you planning something foolish, you sin it. You know what I'm saying? Because that plan is eventually going to become an action. You know what I'm saying? So that means you already. In Psalm 66 and 18, David writes that if he regards iniquity in his heart, Yahuwah will not hear him. You know what I'm saying? So regard iniquity in your heart is having that plot, plan, or scheme in your heart because you feel like this is a just or right thing to do. So it comes down to what I've been telling you from the time that I met every last one. Your heart has to change. Your mind has to change. Your mind changes, then the thoughts of folly is not going to be an issue because you're not going to be planning no folly. You know what I'm saying? And this what I be meaning when niggas say, oh, we got to have mercy or you got to do this. No, nigga, that nigga need to stop thinking how he thinking. Then he'll stop moving how he moving. And that's how people don't want to hear that. See, they think you can mercy and love people up out of sin. Even in Yahushua's mercy, he looked that woman right in the face and told her, go and sin no more. Told another man, go and sin no more, lest a worse thing come upon you. You know what I'm saying? If you pay attention to everything that man said, he was trying to tell these people that their hearts needed to change. Because that was what their problem was. Their problem was nothing other than you niggas' heart's not right. And if you pay attention to the text, he says it repeatedly. Repeatedly. That's the he wouldn't tell you to make you a new heart, a new ruach if that wasn't the problem. Because when he talking about a new breath, if you're talking about a new heart, that means a new mind, a new inner man. You're looking at ruach, new breath, that means new words. Meaning stop thinking and speaking and moving by your words and move by his. And nobody want to do that. So you know what niggas want to do? Case in point, when you called me with it, all the niggas want to do was argue. They didn't really want to listen. They didn't really want to see what the text said. The reason how I say that is because as soon as I got on the phone with this nigga went immediately into I don't even know what you're talking about yet. You haven't even told me what your premise, your thesis is, your point, or nothing. You just did this here, swinging. Which means you just wanted to debate or argue. See, when you talk to an individual with this text, we know the text is black or white. You know what I'm saying? So you can ask direct questions. So I'll ask y'all this same direct question. Do you believe Yahushua was created or he created himself? Do you believe Yahushua was created or he created himself? Do you think he was created or he created himself?
According to the text,
you know what I'm saying? That's a simple question. That's a yes or no answer. You know what I'm saying? This nigga say you got to understand hermeneutics and this, that. I don't want to talk to you no more. You know what I'm saying? Because this is a simple answer. When we read in Revelation 3 and 14, where Hamashiach himself said, I am the beginning of the creation of Elohim. What is there to talk about? See, you got to understand the context. The context pretty clear. This man say, of all the things that were created, I was the first. And it's coming from his mouth. So then niggas say, well, you saying it's two gods. So this is the next question we ask. Why in Revelation chapter 3, verse 12, he said, you'll be the pillar and the temple of my God. I say, who is his God? Crickets. Because if he's saying, you saying Yahushua is not God. I never said that. I never said that once. You said he wasn't. But he just clearly said he has a God. So if he has a God, that means his God had to do what? Create him. This is common sense. You know what I'm saying? You don't need no hermeneutics. You don't need no theology. You don't need no context. You just need simple common sense. But hold on, it got worse. That nigga said, well, in Philippians, he said to be made equal with God. I say, so who is he equal with? And if he's equal with someone, would that not mean that he would have had to been created by the person he was equal with? This is common sense. You don't need a lot. So your argument is destroyed. But you know, it could go even further. And I forgot it. In John chapter 17, you know what Hamashiach said? He said, Father, give me the esteem that I had with you from the foundation of the world before the world was. So when we go back and read Proverbs 8 and he said, I was with you in the beginning, he's telling you I was created. I say, but I was taking a step further. You got a son, don't you? Did you create him or did he create himself?
I think I created him.
I think you had a hand in that. You know what I'm talking about? So when you look at that, if Yahushua says that this is my father, do sons create themselves or do the father create them? This is common sense. You don't have to be a biblical scholar for that. So if this is what I'm going to get from theologian school, I want to save my tuition money. Exegesis. You gotta get your stupid butt up out. That's a smarty art nigga term. Do you know what I'm talking about? See, niggas scream, you ain't exegesing the text. Nigga, what does that mean? Nigga, rightly divide the word, nigga. They wasn't all that. They got an exegesis around here. That's cracker terms, nigga. I want all that.
Everybody does that.
Yeah, I know. Exactly. Indeed, no doubt. But in real, huh? Say that again. I couldn't hear you.
Everybody equity. And he tries to understand the text.
Yeah, I understand that. It don't make no but at the end of the day though, but guess what? Everybody don't do that because the words say rightly divide the truth. So exegesis is not a concept of Elohim, it's a concept of man. I don't care about concepts of men because you can exegete incorrectly, as niggas have been doing for centuries. You know what I'm saying? And we know what a classic example of that, because I'm going to go ahead and blow his brains with this. Niggas been exegeting the text saying Lucifer is the devil, and the book don't say that. And the book don't say that. People say Lucifer is the devil, and the book don't say that. The book does not say that. And nigga exegete all type of stuff and wrong. It say that Yahushua is Lucifer. He is the light bearer. Because stupid niggas exegete all day and don't know where the sides of the north is. Huh? Because we know the sides of the north is where, gentlemen? In Jerusalem. In Judah's gate. The north gate. You know what I'm saying? And I did that for a reason. Continue on. I just wanted to get a nigga off the phone.
On the north.
Yeah, he hung up. I know how to do it. That's how I used to do my homeboy. In prison, that nigga used to come and like to play. I go to talking about some real stuff. That nigga leave.
Exit, please.
I know what to do. I know what to do. This ain't my first rodeo. Ain't mine. I know what to do. Same way, see, you told that nigga son that you couldn't fully explain. Because there's another way I know how to run a nigga off. You go tell him your Mashiach gave birth and he male and female at the same time. I ain't talking to that nigga no more. I know how to get rid of him. I'm for real. If you don't want to talk to him, I'm trying to tell you. I tell women all the time, nigga come talking to you, you don't want to talk to him, go to talking about the Lord. I bet that nigga leave you alone. I bet that nigga leave it alone. I love Yahushua. I love Jesus. Nigga say, oh, you a Jesus freak? Leave this girl alone.
But she's very interested.
She's very, very interested. You go to talk about this here, or you go to talk about something intellectual and nigga stupid?
That's versatile.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Cause shoot, if a chick talking about she like this and you go to talk about it, girl, that nigga that's crazy. He's trying to talk to me about the Lord. I was just trying to get a date and get some money, man. Shit, he was fine. I was gonna let him blow my back out too. He lost that chain. Come on, man. We had Luke 1:46. I ain't lying though. One thing for certain, two things for sure. It's three things this book say when it pertains to that. All serious now. We were clowning about the exegesis, but let's just be real, see what the book say. Isaiah 34:16, it says, seek the book of Yahuwah It will not fail. Everyone has its mate. You know what I'm saying? Another place, he tell you to, and this is in the epistle letter to Timothy, he told him to rightly divide the word of truth. And then, of course, everybody know precept on precept, line on line, whatever the case may be. But you have to rightly divide things. See, you know what I'm saying? What I'm saying is, the term exegesis comes long after Hamashiach has died, rose from the dead, and sent forth his apostles, and they've been killed. So that's a concept of man. That's not a concept of Elohim for understanding the word of Elohim. The word of Elohim is understood through the fear of Elohim, which will begin the knowledge of Elohim, because a man will depart from evil. Therefore, he will attain the wisdom of Elohim, which is the skill on how to combat evil. And therefore, he'll get the understanding of Elohim, which is the insight inwardly, which is the receiving of his son, Yahushua HaMashiach, through the righteous obedience and faith. So nigga take that stuff and shove it up their butthole. That's for smart niggas who stupid. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. That's for people who want to appear more intellectually intelligent than they actually are. You know what I'm saying? Because if you don't know them terms and people go to throwing it, that nigga, that's smart. No, he ain't. He ain't no different than that character from All Living Color, Damon Wayans, man, saying all them old big words, man, making stuff up. Some of y'all done seen nigga when they come home from prison, they go to throwing them big words around. Nigga, you wasn't talking like that for you left. Spell it. Tell me what it means. Use it in the sentence. Nigga looking at you stupid. Tell me what it means. I ain't mad if you can't spell it. Tell me what it means. Shoot, nigga, you know what it meant. If I did, I wouldn't be asking you. Do you know what I'm saying?
Well, I asked you because you used it wrong.
Straight up, because I know what it means. Stupid nigga, you. I'm talking about. You got to be careful with that, though. Because you know why? Because the text says in 2 Corinthians chapter 11 to do not be corrupted from the simplicity that is in Mashiach. This book, it is simplistically complex. Complex meaning that if you lack the obedience and the belief in Yahuwah, then the book will seem a lot more complexly put together than it actually is. Because in Proverbs chapter 8, he said, my words are plain to him who have understanding. That means it's simple. If you don't have understanding, then this book is complex. And all of us know how we felt when we picked this book up at time past. I don't know what it means. And then when you don't know what it means, guess what you do with it? You close it. Because I don't care what type of book you're reading, if you don't understand what you're reading, you don't have a desire to continue to read it. Because you feel like you're wasting your time. You know what I'm saying? You begin to get frustrated, you don't want to do it no more. But when it becomes to be simple, you have more of a desire to delve into it because you understand it and you get it. And then you find out, dang, this book was a lot simpler than I thought. And it gets simple once you believe in Mashiach, how the book say to do it. Because then that's what come about what we've been talking about. Your heart would change. Your thoughts would change. Your plans would change. Your actions would change. And you'll become like Elohim. I seen a nigga all the other day. Ain't nobody righteous. The book say you are righteous even as he is righteous, and don't let nobody tell you that you're not. Of course, you know you're not righteous on your own accord. But ain't nobody finna tell me I ain't righteous and the book say you are. Matter of fact, since I said that, go on and get it for him, man. 1 John 3 and 10. No, that's not 1 John 3 and 10. It's 1 John chapter 2 and verse 27. You know, people quick to tell you ain't nobody righteous, ain't they? They quick to screen that verse in Psalms. There's nobody righteous, no, not one. Before Mashiach came, to a certain extent, you could say that. Because faith was shut up and closed up unto men. But once that opened, you ain't finna tell me that and have me believe it. Make me feel like I'm just old, rotten, no good piece of crap.
You said 2 John?
1 John chapter 2, verse 28. Make it 27.
27.
No, I say that because guess what? While you were in, remember the book say, Paul say that the law is not made for a righteous man. So if he's saying it ain't made for a righteous man, how you gonna tell people they ain't righteous if he say the law ain't made for you? Why would the master say I didn't come to call the righteous to repentance, but who? Sinners. So he's saying that people righteous then, didn't he? So no, I'm not going for that, bro. If my Elohim tell me I'm righteous, I believe him. I don't believe you. You won't have me walking around, I'm just a sinner who will never get right. That's you, nigga. Don't project your wickedness and your black heart on me. Since day one, I'm going to be righteous. He told me to be righteous. He commanded me to be righteous. I took heed to the call. How we know that? Because he told you to be perfect with Yahuwah, your Elohim. Your law tell you to be perfect. Stupid bastard. That's how you know these niggas don't read. Nigga ain't exegesis that, though.
He that suffers in the flesh that
cease from sin, which means you would no longer live the rest of your time to the lust of men, but to the will of Elohim. I would say that would make you perfect. I would say, and all we know that perfect is just complete sound wholeness. A covenant of shalom, depending on where you read it at. So no, bro. These niggas so smart, they stupid. I ain't got no degree, man. I dropped out of college once they stopped cutting the checks. Go ahead. 1 John 2:27.
It said, but the anointing which ye have received of him that abideth in you, ye need not that any man teach you.
Mm-hmm.
But as the same anointing teaches you of all things, and is truth, and is no lie, and even as it hath taught you, ye should abide in him.
Mm-hmm.
And now, little children, abide in him, that when he shall appear, we may have confidence, and not be ashamed before him at his coming.
Not be ashamed.
If we know that he is righteous, ye know that everyone that does righteousness is born of him.
So he say that again, read that again. I forgot about that. DC did mention, I forgot that Mace did get caught with a tranny. I forgot about that.
He got caught what?
With a
Oh, yeah, I
tranny.
heard about that.
But Pimp C somebody, you know the one that got caught in the Range Rover with the boy. With the boy. He talking about who? Mace, silly. I said, oh no. Yeah, he got caught with a tranny.
Oh, with a tranny. I thought you said with a train. I'm like,
He might have been got catfish like Ray Allen.
Ray Allen got catfished, all right.
If ye know that he is righteous, ye know that everyone that does righteousness is born of him.
Everyone that do right is born of him, which means you would be born of. And I'm getting to a point when we get to Chronicles. You understand? Because that means if you were born of him, guess what that would mean? What we read last night in Ephesians chapter 4. You will renew the ruach of your mind. And you will put off the old man concerning the old behavior who was corrupt according to deceitful lusts. And you will serve Elohim in true righteousness and Kadosh. Your mind would be different. Now get 1 John 3:7 and look what he say. Don't let nobody lie to you. Come on, Gail.
Little children, let no man deceive you.
Hold on, let no man do what?
Deceive you.
Let no man do what?
Deceive you.
Why?
He that does righteousness is righteous.
He that does what?
Righteousness is righteous. Even as he is righteous.
That's so that nobody lie to you. If you do what is righteous in the eyesight of Elohim, the book just said you righteous. Don't let nobody tell you not. He just told you let no man do what?
Deceive you.
Don't let nobody lie to you and tell you that you not. You know what I'm saying? So that's why niggas get mad, but these niggas claim they believe the book and all this, that, and the third. That book said if Yahushua righteous and you do righteousness, then you righteous like he is. Nigga don't want to hear that because they not righteous. You'll find when you find out people who enemies of righteousness because they always resist that which is right. Or people who say, I live what is right. I don't have a desire to think and do wrong. So I abstain from that. So now you telling me I'm wrong and try to make it seem like I'm lifted up with pride because I'm like, no nigga, I don't have a desire to sin and I resist sin. I remain steadfast in the flesh and resist. Is that not what this man told you to do? So then you mad at me because I'm saying, ain't nobody without sin. Speak for yourself.
Yeah, I was told I wasn't righteous because I wasn't feeding the poor or going out to help the disaster relief like the church was.
I mean, come on, man. You arguing with niggas who ain't got no church. Man, I already know, man, I'm not even going to get into that. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about? Shoot, man, you help who you help. Like, how am I going to donate? Nigga, I ain't got no money. Nigga, I need a donation. You know what I'm talking about? Shoot, nigga. I open up my refrigerator, I just hear echoes. You like this here, hello, hello. Nigga, ain't no food in here. What you opened it for? Cold the door, nigga. Letting all the air out. Come back around here, nigga. Put something in here. I mean, if you got means to help, then you help. You know what I'm saying? A nigga telling you, oh, you ain't helping like the church helping. Well, they have a lot more resources at their disposal. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. What resources do I? All I can do is if I see a man who hungry is feed him. That's what I can do. Whether he be of the faith or whether he not be of the faith. You know what's so funny? Nigga be quick to help people outside the faith, don't help nobody in it. Nigga in the faith will tell you I'm hungry. Be blessed, brother. Yah be with you. And then pray the name of Jesus. I plead the blood. You come up out of your situation. That ain't gonna help me tonight, cuz my stomach rumbling. I just seen a nigga arguing about that. There's no such thing as pleading the blood. Nigga, we know that. Why you having that argument? We know that's not in the book, cuz.
I don't know what's that.
That's Christian talk.
Yeah, that's Christian. They plead the blood of Jesus.
Plead the blood of Jesus over your finances.
What that supposed to do?
It's supposed to heal your finances.
I don't know what you plead the blood.
When they say they plead the blood, and I just know this from context clues from hearing them talk, they saying when they plead because the blood of Jesus got power. So I plead the blood over your finances, over your household. It's power in the blood.
Please, I don't.
What is that?
I plead with the blood of Jesus on your house. Jesus, be a fence, Jesus, please. You know, the people ain't got no sense.
That was that be a fence.
Yeah.
You ever heard that?
No.
Me either.
I just hear people say it.
That was it. Be a fence.
That's a
Jesus.
song.
Luke 1:46.
I don't know about that.
Luke 1:46. Say, plead the blood of Jesus. I always hear them niggas, they say, Jesus be a fence.
I'm surprised you never heard that song. That should know.
What you got on your face?
Thought my good church upbringing would have brought me across it, huh?
That's old school hymn. That's what the old people started.
Yeah, those three terms. Plead the blood, Jesus be a fence, and Jesus take the wheel. That joint tripped me out. Somebody made a meme talking about Jesus take the wheel, and there was a Spanish dude on there grabbing the steering wheel. I said, no.
47.
Luke 1:46.
It said, Mary said, my Ruach does magnify you. And my Ruach can rejoice to see Elohim my Savior.
And not see.
Rejoice in Elohim my Savior. For he has regarded the lower state of his handmaid.
He regarded what?
The lower state of his handmaid.
Paul, didn't we read just last night in Job 21 how he say he exalt the low high? Because you can look at Mary. Who was Mary? You know who Mary is akin to? Mary is akin to Hannah. Same difference. Took a woman of low estate and raised up high. You know who Hannah is because of who her son is, Samuel. You know what I'm saying? This is why he always exalts those that are low and places them in a higher position. He can't do nothing with people who got pride. See, people think pride, people mistake confidence for pride. If you confident in Elohim, most people going to take that for pride or arrogance. You know what I'm saying? See, I'm very confident in my Elohim, so people think, oh, he arrogant, he think he this. You think I'm that because I never said I was anything. But I know what I know, and I know who I serve, and I trust him. I know he the real deal, so I don't care what you talking about. You know what I'm saying? And I won't entertain you for long. You know what I'm saying? I give you a little space, but after a while, I'm good. I definitely don't like talking to people who are not trying to reason. Like, I may not believe in what you're talking about. I'll hear you out though. You know what I'm saying? If you got precepts that you're gonna come with for your point. If you just running your mouth and talking some old this, that, I don't want to hear that, bro. I don't want to hear that. Who's that crap? Oh, I should have known. Come on. Henry.
He's talking about him. That's your boy.
Oh, that was both of them? Well, they was in unison with it. Come on.
It said, for he hath regarded the lower state of his handmaid, and for behold, from henceforth all generations shall be called blessed.
Go ahead.
For he that is mighty hath done to me great things, and Kadosh is his name. And his mercy is on them that fear him from generation to generation.
His mercy is with who?
With them that fear him from generation to generation.
Now, hold on, I'm trying to remember that song. Come over here to the book of Psalms. I want to say Psalms 118. But I don't think that's it. And it ain't. It ain't Psalms 118. I was just looking at this stuff today too. Well, see, you can come back to Luke, but because I can recall what it said. You know, in one of them songs, if somebody can find it, it's cool. I can't recall the exact song it is. He state that his mercy is with those that fear him. See, a lot of people feel like Yah is merciful to everybody, but that mercy, he also tells you that in the law, that he shows mercy to thousands of them that love him and keep his commandments. See, a lot of people think that mercy is just the mercy that was extended to everybody was the death of his son. After that, that mercy is only extended unto those who fear him. If you do not fear him, his mercy does not extend unto you. It's not going to reach you. It's not going to touch you. It's not going to be with you. And a nigga don't care how mad you get about it. See, people get upset because they want Yahuwah to be any and everything that he is not. Which one you say? Then I was right the first time. Yeah, it is. I was right the first time. Psalms 118. I just, for some reason, I thought it was lower down the page. Verse 1.
You said 118?
And 1.
It said, "Give thanks unto Yahuwah, for He is good, because His mercy endures
If
forever."
that's not what she doing in this passage in Luke, go ahead.
Let Yasharal now say that His mercy endures forever.
So Yasharal should say, His mercy endures forever. Why would Yasharal say His mercy endures forever? What statement what would have to occur for us to be able to make that statement? We should be able to know that statement that the blood of Mashiach is an everlasting covenant that endures forever. Because the covenant that he made with Abraham was an everlasting covenant that endured forever. That's why he names Yasharal specifically that they should say his mercy endures forever. Go ahead.
It says, "Let the house of Aaron now say His mercy endures forever."
Now you say the high priest ought to say it. Go ahead.
Let them now that fear Yahuwah say that His mercy endures forever.
Those that fear. It's another place that he said it, but it's a little different. We gotta find it. That'll work too, but that one I want exactly. Hold on one second. Distinct between what two things, DC? Some of the stuff you might have to say out loud because I don't be hearing them text messages when they come. So when I actually look and see, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Confident and pride.
Oh, what's the difference? Pride means you think you better than somebody. Confidence means you just have a supreme trust and whatever it is. It's a hard to define in words, but you know confidence and pride when you see it. Because confidence is something that confidence you don't have to tell a nigga. It just emanates out of you. Pride you have to constantly tell somebody.
Yeah, like how you just think, like whether, like for example, Floyd Mayweather. You know what I'm saying? You might be confident.
I mean, in his boxing skills, that he's very confident. You know what I'm saying? Because I know what I can do. A lot of times when you see the difference when you're trying to use Floyd is he's a boxing promoter, so he has to be over the top. It means to get people to want to pay to watch this event. You know what I'm saying? Some people you can't necessarily go off their television persona and think that's how they are in real life. Because in real life, he may not be anything like that. Do you know what I'm saying? Because that's just a character. Money Mayweather is a character. Like literally, that is a character to sell boxing matches. You know what I'm saying? And guess why people pay? Because they hate him and they want to see him get beat up.
Because they feel like He's prideful.
Because they feel like he's prideful, and that may not be him at all.
Could be though.
It could be, it may not be.
Yeah, but you make a good point.
Because I don't know, because I don't know him personally. You know what I'm saying? I don't know him personally. And I have enough sense to know that anyone you see on TV, 99.9% of the time, that is a character. That is a role that they're playing for promotion. And he plays that role well. Because at the end of the day, this man walked away with 2 multi-million-dollar fights based off his demeanor. You know what I'm saying? And that takes a lot. That takes a lot to get people to part with almost $100 to see you get beat up.
And it was the fact that he ain't never lost ever though too.
That's what I want. Yeah, that too.
You gotta build that up. That take time.
That take time.
Not to lose
Because
ever.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Mayweather's persona was not that at the beginning.
Yeah.
That's
When he
not
was winning. Niggas would sleep on him. He was just silently whooping niggas.
he was just whooping dudes.
And then it's like, okay, somebody gotta beat him. He's still whooping niggas. And then now he gotta hype up the whooping. Yeah. At this point, because niggas know you're gonna win, so you gotta kind of make it look like you're not. At least give it like they got a good chance.
Hey, that's what I wanted. It was Psalms 147:3.
All right.
That's real though. You have to sit back and look at it. It's just like I'm trying to think of somebody else, but somebody who said they persona. Okay, you could look at you could take wrestlers for instance. It's different now in this particular time frame. They had something like I told y'all before. It's called kayfabe, which is basically acting. So people honestly thought that the character that they saw on TV was that person, and wrestlers back in the day stayed in character 24/7. Do you know what I'm saying? So when you saw them in public, they stayed in character. Like they were taught that if you were a bad guy, you couldn't get caught in public having drinks with somebody who was a good guy or eating dinner because you had to protect the business. But this may not actually be you. Because when we was in high school, my homeboy Harold was so disappointed because he saw Sting and Ric Flair going somewhere sitting down eating. And they were just at the show fighting each other. Do you know what I'm saying? But they crafting this reality that you think. Now I will say that Ric Flair, because I watched this 30 for 30. The Ric Flair you seen on television, he was living that. Like actually started to live the life of what his character was. You know what I'm saying? And that can happen. Sometimes those lines can get blurred, and you can become that. You know what I'm saying?
Especially if you was really green, and then your character wrong.
Well, no, he came up with that character, but it wasn't even just. His character was more about. His character was more about. I'm rich. I'm hitting all the hoes. I'm drinking all this liquor, and that's how he was living. But people felt the reason why a lot of people liked this character is because they felt it was authentic. You know what I'm saying? Some of the best MCs or rappers people like. Look at this here. Good crime example. Dr. Dre is no gangster.
Yeah, he was good. Yeah.
He was no gangster. This world-class record crew nigga, lipstick and glitter. You know what I'm saying?
Slick back.
Slick back.
When he go pop like a nigga.
Pop lock a nigga.
Nah, yeah.
That's the world-class record crew.
Vibe. Prince type vibe.
Pop lock a nigga.
Yeah.
Dope producer though. But he ain't no gangster. Do you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about? He wasn't no gangster at all. So that was a persona. That persona is not who he really is, which is where the term studio gangster originated from. That's not who you are. And some of y'all know niggas who like that. Shoot, some of y'all niggas who know who niggas, regardless if they wicked or not, that pretend to be somebody they're not on Facebook. Nigga, that's not you. I know you in real life.
It's a little small time production.
It's a little small time production. You know what I'm talking about? A little high school play. You know what I'm talking about? Community theater.
Drama club.
Drama club. Ain't nobody there but your mom and your grandma. Look at my baby.
That's what they say happened when he blood, Joker dude.
Yeah, they say he became the kid. That's what they say. That cracker probably was on dope.
I mean, he probably was.
If he a joke, he might well.
I know that they did that. Jack Nicholson said that he's told everybody don't play that role.
You gotta be a messed up person.
Now I don't know. Now that Joker character was different than the
dude that's dead. Yeah. He was
his
by far.
Jack Nicholson's Joker was more comical, comic book style.
I don't know which one it is.
Jack Nicholson is the one when he say you ever dance with the devil in the pale moonlight, and that when it show you how he fall in the green pool and he became like that. The first Batman movie that came out in 1989. He was, but not in that one. Michael Keaton played that Batman. Psalm 147:3. George Clooney probably came in like 4-5 deep into him. They had a Val Kilmer play Batman. I think the last dude that played Batman probably did it the best.
It was the voice.
Yeah. It was the chin. You had that with strong chin.
Strong chin. You can't be Batman with no booty chin, no round chin. You got to have that chin look like Chuck Norris chin. It's got a fist under there. Psalm 147:3.
It says, He healed the broken in heart and binded up their wounds. He telleth the number of the stars and called them by their names.
So he tell us he number. What does the stars represent, everybody?
Sons of Elohim.
Sons of Elohim. And what did he say? I know my sheep and I call them by what?
By
Name. So he knows those that are his. Come on.
He said, Great is Yahuwah and great of power is his understanding, and his understanding is infinite. Yahuwah lifted up the meek and casted the wicked down to the ground.
He lift up the who?
The wicked.
No, he lift up the who?
meek and cast.
How did he lift up the meek? Pause. John 3:14. And we already read this in Job 5 last night. You remember? He said he take the counsel of the flower and cast it headlong. Say he abased them, and I ain't deal with that part last night either.
John 3:14.
What'd he say?
It said, and as Moses lifted up the serpent in the wilderness, even so must the Son of Man be lifted up.
So he took the meek and he lifted him up. What did we read last night? Humble yourself under the mighty hand of Elohim and he will lift you up in due time. And see, since I mentioned it, we'll just read it. Give me James chapter 4, verse 4, and then Philippians 2 and 5. See, that's what nigga don't want to do. See, I seen nigga arguing with your homeboy about that the other day on the post. And he don't realize, I don't think he realized he do it though. That when anybody say something adverse, he automatically get defensive and argue. And in actuality, in reality, that is a sign of pride. You know what I'm saying? It may not be that pride, I think I'm better than you type stuff, but, or I think I'm this or I think I'm that, but you get defensive and ready to fight when it's not a fight. You know what I'm saying? You know, I tell that on the phone, like, but you be ready to argue. You so ready to argue versus listen. And this is not a fight, bro. You don't got to fight. All you got to do is hear what I'm saying. Boom. If you ask me a question, I'm going to answer your question. I'm not going to give you an hour dissertation on a one-word answer. Because when it comes to the scripts, and I feel like you got to give me an hour dissertation for a yes or no question, you lying. You lying. You really don't know what you're talking about. So you hope that if you use these because the book tell you a fool is known by his multitude of words. So you telling me all these words because to try to cover up, you don't know what you're talking about. And you hope I'll get lost in all your words. But see, the difference between me and most is, I'm going to stop you right now. I don't want to hear it. You read that very well. You read that very well. You read it very well. James 4:4.
It says, "Ye adulterers and adulteresses, know ye not that friendship with this world is enmity with Elohim?"
That's beginning what I was telling you about last night. Like, you have to be careful. I don't care who they is to you. When you become it's one thing a one-off. It's another thing when people of the world ask you to do things of the world with them, then you mess around and be friends with them, and now that's hatred with Elohim. You have to be careful on how you discern that and navigate that. You know what I'm saying? It's not a saying that you a friend of the world if your friends say, "Come to dinner with me," and they outside the word. That's not friendship with the world. It's going to eat a dinner. You know what I'm saying? It's friendship with the world. They say, "Come to the club with me, and then we gonna hit the strip club, and then we gonna go here." Whoa. Let me stop you right here. You know what I'm saying? It's not friendship with the world if your friends say, "Let's go to the Jaguar game. Let's go to the fair." It's not a big deal because this is somewhere you may go anyway. It's not ungodly for you to be there. But it's friendship of the world when they asking you to do things that a Kadeshim should not be doing or places that you should not be. That's where the problem come in at. You know what I'm saying? That's it. I'm not telling you, man. Can't sit back and be like, well, you're not in the friendship with the world. If I go with my friends or my parents to this dinner here, man, go get you a plate, my nigga. It's not that big of a deal. I'm dead serious though. But y'all know it's brews like that go hard like that. It's not that big of a deal, man. Go eat, bro. You gonna tell a grown person don't go see your mama. If you choose not to see your mother, that's up to you. You know what I'm saying? You gonna tell somebody don't see your friends and family. How you gonna tell somebody that? Yahushua ain't even tell you that. Yahuwah himself ain't even tell you that. He didn't tell you that. He just told you don't have no communion with them, don't have no agreement with them, don't have no fellowship with them. Don't be joined up with them. Don't be yoked with them. There's a difference from being yoked with somebody and going to get a meal. It's a difference from being yoked with somebody and going to a family function. You know what I'm saying? That's not that big of a deal. Now, if you go to that family function and they got liquor and you want to go to sipping and dipping, now that's a problem.
Yeah. Sip and dip.
Sip and dip. That's what some of you niggas know y'all used to do. Sip and dip. Grab that pop, pop, pop. I'm going to the house. My cousin went around here anyway who I wanted to see. Well, you know your uncle in the back keep a fat bag.
Keep a fat bag.
You like this here? Go ahead and hit me off, Unc. Here to hit you off. I'm finna go, Unc. I'm tired. I gotta go to work in the morning. I thought you said you was off for 2 days. I gotta go to work in the morning.
Fat bag.
Fat bag. No Unc gonna give you a blunt. Come on. I'm just being honest with you though, man, because you know I have to always reiterate that because I just want you to. I don't want y'all to just be dropping and cutting off people you love and care about. You know what I'm saying? For no reason. You know what I'm saying? Just be wise in your dealings with them, and that's it. Be wise in whether they ask you or invite you to come. You know what I'm saying? And that's it. Period. You know what I'm saying? I'll never look a grown man in the face, tell him don't go see your mama. Shoot, nigga, go see your mama, boy. You know what I'm talking about? Look at nigga in the face, don't go see your daddy. Shoot, I went to see mine. He wasn't in the word. What you mean? Went to his funeral too. You know what I'm saying? Didn't go to his wake because I would have been unclean to preach, so I couldn't go. They would have had a funeral on the Sabbath. I wouldn't have went. But they didn't have it on the Sabbath, so I'm going to go. You know what I'm saying? That's my daddy. What you mean? You know what I'm saying? I don't understand how niggas think that way. Like I say, man, if a lot of my childhood friends and peers and all that, if they hollered at me and it wasn't nothing out the way, I ain't got no problem going to see them boys, man. You know what I'm saying? Ain't got no problem with that. I'm gonna come out like, what's up with you? Nigga, you still my nigga? Because I'm in the word don't change the fact you my nigga. I don't change that. You know what I'm saying? Niggas get all uptight, act like they can't fool with people no more. But once you start crossing that line, then I got to remove myself. Or once you feel too comfortable out asking me to do this and do that, whoa, let me tap the brake for you, son. You can tap that brake, because I ain't on that. Respect the boundary. Go ahead.
You still want it, Lil James?
Yeah. Not Lil James. Lil Darryl.
Lil James.
Leave me alone.
It said, do you think that the scripture saith in vain that the ruach that dwelleth in us lustly to envy? Lust is to envy? But he giveth more grace, therefore he says, Elohim resisteth the proud, but giveth grace unto the humble.
He give grace to who?
To the humble.
What else?
Submit yourselves therefore to Elohim.
And he'll do what?
Resist the adversary.
And whatever.
And he will flee from you.
Go ahead.
Draw nigh to Elohim, and he will draw nigh to you. Cleanse your hands, ye sinners, and purify your hearts, ye double-minded. Be afflicted and mourn.
Well, what's wrong with you, boy? You doing the most. You ain't even being real. Doing all this here.
It said, be afflicted and mourn and weep and let your laughter be turned to
That's
mourning.
good right there. But you notice how he say he'll lift you up. Now let's look at Philippians 2 and 5. Philippians 2 and 5.
It says, let this mind be in you, which
What?
also is in Yahushua Mashiach.
What mind is that, sir?
Whoso being in the form of Elohim, thought it not robbery to be equal to Elohim.
And what else?
But made himself of no reputation.
What else?
And took upon him the form of a servant.
He took upon him the what?
Form of a servant.
That means he humbled himself.
It was made in the likeness of men.
Go ahead.
And being found in fashion as a man, he humbled himself and became obedient unto death.
Obedient unto what?
Unto death.
Obedient unto what?
Death.
And then he get lifted up to be obedient unto death?
Even the death of the state.
That's why you have to be, that's what you got to do. You have to die. We talked about that last night, right? That Proverbs verse 8, there's many devices in a man's heart, but the purpose of Yahuwah or the counsel of Yahuwah will stand. There was a purpose in his heart. Father, let this cup pass. But at the end of the day, the will of Elohim stood. That's what he went with. You know what I'm saying? You can have many purposes that well up in your flesh. But at the end of the day, that word got to stand. That's what's got to be executed. And niggas ain't executing that word. Niggas would rather tell you what the word say than actually live what the word say. You know what I'm saying? See, y'all know this here, right? I don't go around talking to any and everybody I come across about the book. For what? You know what I'm saying? And I don't let nobody deceive you. Those men just wasn't walking around randomly dropping script on everybody they came across. They spoke when they were moved to speak or in said situations where it necessitated preaching. You know what I'm saying? We live in a society now that niggas feel like if you own the word, you supposed to witness to everybody you come across. And the men did not do that. You know what I'm saying? I'm at the grocery store. Let me witness to Jesus here in the grocery store. I mean,
You taking the book for that?
huh?
Go out and witness to all.
Yeah, like I said, when he say go out, that mean they preach him. That don't mean preach everywhere. Because the book also tell you a wise man know when to do what? Keep his mouth closed. You know what I'm saying? You have to have it has to be time and situation and circumstances to drop word. Not just because somebody is around you. You know what I'm saying? I done been and heard people have detailed biblical discussions and ain't said a word while I was in public. They're not talking to me. So why am I finna interject myself in this conversation? If he open an opportunity for me to get in this conversation, then so be it. He don't open an opportunity, I'm gonna keep my thoughts to myself. You know what I'm saying? I'll walk around in public, because you know how off-putting that is. Do you know how many people will not want to approach to hear no word from you because of that? Because you thinking you doing it because they don't want to hear no word because they hate the word. It's because you trying to hit them with it every time they see you. So that means you more concerned about talking it than living it when you could draw more people in if they know that's what you about and they see how you live every day. Then they'll inquire. You know what I'm saying? It's the lifestyle that should cause them to want to inquire versus you smacking them with information all the time. Because most people's brain going to shut down. They're going to stop listening if that's not what they want to hear. If their mind is not in tune to hear that from you, then they're not going to listen to it. Now, if you out preaching, you know what I'm saying, and that's what you're doing, that's different. I'm not finna preach to a nigga on the city bus. This nigga ain't asked me for my opinion. This nigga ain't asked for no script. If this man ain't give a decree, get up and preach the gospel in the middle of the city, but sit your black behind down. You know what I'm talking about? And hit the bell when you at your stop. You know what I'm saying? I'm for real though. Because people don't want to hear that. Like my homeboy wanted to go preach to people as they were leaving the fair. Do you think this is going to be effective? These people ain't trying to hear that. We need to win the souls back. They gonna be like, this nigga messing with me, nigga. I just got off this tilt-a-whirl and I done ate my cotton candy and my funnel cake and I'm finna go home, nigga. Shoot stupid butt up out of here, posting up at the fair, bothering these people. You ain't never seen now prophet, now preacher post up nowhere and do nothing like that. I know they do. At the gate, preaching. At the gate of the city. The city. That means he's where the people are. Not at the fair. Not at the gate of a football stadium. You know what I'm saying? It's a time and place for everything. Now, if you out there in the hood and you like this here, thus saith Yahuwah. John said that's different. Because you posting up and you preaching where the people live. Not going to events where people are at, talking about you going to win them with the gospel. They not trying to hear that. You doing that for you. You didn't do that for y'all. You doing that for you. So you can go back and see the people they want to hear. They stubborn. They wicked. No, you an idiot, nigga. That's your pride. You know what I'm saying? I'm just being honest. Everybody in here, no boy, I can be in public. I ain't going to say nothing about the word. I ain't going to say nothing to nobody. You don't ask, I don't talk. You know what I'm saying? Straight up and down. Because what I look like, how you doing, sir? I'm doing all right. Do you know about your Lord? And they don't want to hear that. I just met you, nigga. You know that causes people to turn off? They don't want to hear no more. You have to let that opportunity arise in those type of situations. You know what I'm saying? Somebody say, hey man, you believe in God? Why, yes I do. And there it is. You know what I'm saying? But just coming, I learned that myself, boy. You can't run up on people like that, bro. I'm telling you from personal experience. You know what I'm saying? Can't run up on people like that, bro. They're not gonna listen. They're not gonna listen. Not when you're in public. They're not gonna listen. Shoot, niggas who believe say they believe the word ain't listening. So what you think our outside are gonna do? Come on, man. I ain't got no problem if you want to give away tract pamphlets, but if you giving away tract pamphlets 9 times out of 10, you out preaching. You know what I'm saying? Like I ain't walking around with no bag full of tracts and pamphlets passing that out. I'm not doing that. I ain't mad at nobody who does. You know what I'm saying?
I done seen niggas who don't be preaching like they just have some on them and they'll be walking around whatever they go.
But see, you set out to go do that. I can understand that. You know what I'm saying? I ain't mad at that. Just like you say, you don't preach, but you part of a congregation. You got some information about what we believe and what we about, and you know you set out that day to go out and pass that out. That's cool. I ain't got no problem with that. Because you're trying to give it, but that's a different type of exposure to what you believe. You're not running that up on nobody. You just giving them something to look at. If they look at it, they look at it. If they don't, they don't. You know what I'm saying? And if they see something that they took their curiosity, they're going to inquire. You know what I'm saying? Then they get a chance to come to where you fellowship at and hear for themselves and make their determination. You know what I'm saying? But you talking about coming at niggas? Woo, 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 woo. Ain't nobody trying to hear that. Yeah, I know niggas preach outside of a strip club. Nigga, they already, like, why am I preaching outside of a strip club? I've seen niggas preach in front of the liquor store. You think the people care I came here for some yak, nigga? Now you think, oh, he gon' see they hate Yahweh Shai. They already hated Yahweh Shai before they came, nigga. Shoot. That ain't gonna win. You ain't finna win nobody. Preaching outside the strip club, that nigga don't care. Shoot, I hear you, Jesus, huh? Shoot, Jesus know I'm finna drop $100 on this hoe.
In Jesus' name.
In Jesus' name. And one of them crazy niggas might actually go here, baby, these bills in Jesus' name. You know it's an old nigga, wicked nigga who went in there and did something like that. Nigga out there preaching to him. This in the Lord's name, baby. I got 50 for more than the Lord. I'm telling you.
Preachers be doing taking the Lord's money going right down.
Right to the strip club. Get all the young meat. Nasty buzzer. Come on. But we good. Back to Psalm 147. Yeah. I've been saying that it's just a time and a place, man. Just a time and a place. Just a time and a place. That's just modern day society. You know what I'm saying? You feel like you're supposed to share your belief. That's why people use the term that people believe the Bible, try to force their beliefs on people. because we feel the need to throw that at people everywhere we go. And all you just need to do is live it. That's the greatest testimony you can give. They can come get the info once they peep how you live, because then they going to look at it, it's something that I want to be a part of, because I see how it's benefiting you. I done told you that before, boy. If your life don't line up with what you telling people, if you trying to tell a nigga get down with the Lord, but a nigga know you just hit a hole yesterday, got high with him the day before, you know what I'm talking about? Nigga ain't trying to hear that what you talking about. You already know that with a woman. Don't tell no man you believe in God and he got in your drawers in 3 days. That nigga ain't trying to hear nothing you talking about. He looking at you like I'm your God now. Cause you compromise your God for me. Dead serious. Cause that's how a man look at it. And he don't want to hear nothing you got to say about God after that. Nothing. You know what I'm saying? The best thing to tell, I believe in God. I hear you, girl. Sure. Yeah, you gonna see it too. Stop calling my phone. I ain't on that what you talking about. Don't call my phone after 7:45. See it what is it? Shoot. Well, if you're a woman in the way you do it, nigga, don't call my phone after 7. Ain't nothing. We ain't got nothing to talk about after 8 o'clock, nigga.
Hey, I respect that more than a girl give it up.
Straight up and down. If you in the word, nigga try to holler at you, you know what I'm talking about, and you feel like he full of crap, and you set them boundaries and all that type of stuff like that, I bet you that nigga he either gonna get down with the program or serving y'all on his own accord, and that nigga gonna start calling your phone. Don't call my phone after 8 o'clock. Them hunching hours. You ain't got no business talking to me after 8, nigga. That's how old people used to do it too, though. Don't call here after this period of time. Of course, you got cell phones now, so this is different.
For cell phones? Bro, I definitely shut that line down at 9.
Don't call this house. Because you ain't got nothing to talk about.
Girl calling my phone after 9, bro.
You ain't got nothing to talk about. What you talking about that late at night? Ungodly things.
One time, call real quick.
Yeah.
Ungodly things. Ungodly things.
Go get that cordless phone. Put that just on vibrate.
That's the only thing that's going down. Ungodly things. See, it's a little different. Like I said, men gotta set standards and boundaries, but a woman who's virtuous, she has to see. You know what I'm saying? Because a nigga will pretend to be righteous to get that butt. You know what I'm saying? That nigga will be whatever you want him to be. Once he get married, then he like, ha ha. I wasn't on that girl. I was playing. All right. Because I already told y'all that, man. Nigga don't want what's righteous. They want it. I seen a brother say this today. This real talk, though. A nigga say he married a woman. She ain't had nothing. She was like, she say she paid off his car, paid off all his credit debt. She say she did it, and he was like, she say her husband looked in the face and said, I didn't marry you because you had potential. He said, I married you because you had a plan. You know what I'm saying? See, most people deal with people because of potential. But that person had potential, but they ain't got no plan. You know what I'm saying? You looking at somebody, I might be at this particular point right now, but I got a way to get myself up out of it. And I'm going to put my plan in action, because it's no good to have a plan and you don't act on it. You know what I'm saying? But you know, a lot of people get caught up in, I seen potential. Shoot, you potentially, what's your plan to serve y'all though? How you going to execute that? Shoot, screw all that. I think he can be righteous. That's how you wake up to a wicked nigga every morning. Male or female. And I just know that's how you wake up to a wicked nigga every morning. Hating your life. I married this wicked bastard. Because you was wicked. That's why. You wanted sin. That's why you chose sin. You choose what you like. Friends or mates. You choose what you like. You say what you want to. You know what I'm talking about? You like sinners. You a sinner. You going to be around sinners. You know why? Because they ain't going to hold you accountable for nothing. You can do what you want to do with them. He ain't gonna say, brother, put that blunt down, brother. You know that's not of the Lord. Shoot, nigga, you got some, what? You got who? What? You got some. What that nigga say? I seen them nigga arguing about some Khalifa Kush. Pass it over. Got some Remy. Pass the bottle. Nah, ain't nobody got nothing to talk about at that late. Shoot, ain't nothing. But she ain't lying. Ain't nothing but being talked about but sex and lies at that time of night. Just like this here. Just like if a nigga tell you ain't nothing open after 12 but dope houses and legs.
There's one nigga said scriptures
After dark, baby.
I bet it is. Scriptures after dark.
You don't remember?
You ain't know that? That's a boy victims.
Scriptures after dark.
Yeah, he did.
That nigga sound like a super
We
freak.
read Songs of Solomon late night.
That nigga sound like a super freak. Hey, Malia.
We can read these Songs of Solomon late night.
When a nigga say after dark, that nigga a freak.
says scriptures after dark.
That nigga gonna talk about, let me tell you about Songs of Solomon 3. Next thing you know, your nipples are round. What you say? That's not what's read there. Nasty bastard. That's how it starts. Come on. Psalm 147. That's how it starts.
That's bad.
That's bad.
It's righteous though. It's the word.
It's the word. I know it, but guess what? He don't say nothing about no nipples in there. Your breasts look like clusters of grapes. Now, it actually do say that.
I know, that's why he like that.
Yeah, he spoke that.
You know, niggas use Songs of Solomon as it means the carpet munch and the bar for apples.
That's the.
Niggas say God done gave a man a word to tell you about how to put your face in a woman's vagina. You know you a sick bastard there. The living Elohim gonna tell his children how to eat a vagina. Come on, man. Are you serious, nigga? Like when you sit and pause and think about that, you are a pervert. And that's what goes back to what we read last night. The fry would pervert the word. They twist the word. Nigga around here talking about, see, y'all want you to know how to give me head, girl. See, this verse right here tell you how to do it. I'm walking away. I don't want to serve your God.
He can never be forgiven for that thing. Ain't that blasphemy? He can never be.
Now, he could be forgiven for that. He ain't blaspheming the Ruach. Nigga just lied on the word. Niggas do that every day. What is a nigga saying that you can give, using the word to give head different than somebody using the word say you can eat pork? What's the difference? Because one act is sexual and another one is eating animal flesh. It's wicked either way. There's not a scale of wickedness. Both of them wicked. You know what I'm saying? What's the difference when that a nigga's using the word to say you can rape a woman? It ain't blaspheming the Ruach, it's just wicked. Nigga taking the script and perverting it because they have a perverse mind to cause people. What's the difference of niggas using the word, perverting the word to fleece the people out of money?
Oh, I was making up.
I mean, I can think of multiple different things niggas use the word for. You got niggas using the word to say it ain't wrong to be a faggot.
I ain't heard that one, dude.
I ain't heard that one either.
That's always skate around.
And then you got people perverting word. I don't know if you seen, but lately they been talking about they can sleep with their cousins.
I seen that. I mean, you got booked for that though.
Yeah, that's book for that. Niggas, you can easily swindle a nigga on that.
Yeah, I mean, Rachel was Jacob's cousin.
Yeah, it's true. But you can't swindle a nigga on no punk, yo. It ain't nothing right about that at all in the book. You can't see punk, like you can't.
I mean, there's book that they could use for that.
What,
for cousins?
Yeah, but you it ain't right though.
Man, hey, that's so weak.
But come on, Psalm 147. Because the text tell you how far down the line cousin you can go before it's not an issue. And you can't mess with first, second, or third cousins if I'm not mistaken.
No.
Because at the end of the day, shoot, every last person in here gonna marry a cousin. They may not be a direct familiar cousin, but they your cousin. No, I'm dead serious. Regardless of what, if your wife may be related, she's still your cousin somewhere down the line because she at the house of Yasharal. She's still your cousin. She just ain't a direct bloodline cousin.
If she ain't from my side, we ain't cousins.
Nah, they was saying your first.
You know how that's your cousin?
Tribal marriage, nigga.
Nah, ain't it just tribal marriage? I wouldn't care if you were Dan, Judah, Benjamin. Shoot, nigga, that's brothers, that's offspring cousins. That's still your cousin.
That's my uncle and them shit.
They were saying it's okay to get your first meal.
I mean, the law say you can't have sex with your first cousin. The law tell you that.
That's your first cousin. Oh, gosh.
Yeah, that's what they said.
No, I mean, but we know the law say you can't do that, so I wouldn't even engage in that conversation. We could pull Leviticus 20 right now. He tell you don't do that. Tell you don't lay with your auntie, your uncle, they offspring. Tell you not to do that. I mean, shoot. But I mean, people nasty, man. You gotta remember, man. People freaks. People is freaks.
No, they possessed.
Now, people ain't possessed. They freaks.
They got the demonic spirits on them.
No, these niggas ain't that. We can't blame nothing on no demon. These niggas freaks.
I was like,
Nah, bro.
Nigga just nasty. These niggas got a nasty mind. These niggas sitting around at their auntie house. Ooh. Nigga just a freak. Nigga just a freak.
But sometimes people get dead like that too.
I understand what you're saying, but what I'm telling you is these niggas freaks. You know what I'm saying? They planning and devising. Nigga don't care nothing about that's their sister, that's their cousin. They looking at it, I'm gonna hit that.
Some people just don't have no self-control.
Period.
It ain't even about no demon.
This ain't got no
You
self-control.
probably done had thoughts, but in your mind, you're not gonna do it. Some people just really react to everything they think about.
That abominable, it becomes.
It ain't that.
No, because you know why? It's not that abominable.
It's not that abominable.
Because you know why I say that? You know what the reason why I screw a demonic spirit? Because that's taking away personal accountability. God can blame it on the demon.
There was a
Yeah, you did. But that nigga ain't possessed because he want to sleep with it because that nigga a freak.
I mean, but you have to put a script on when demons is actually in people.
Yeah, and what they were doing, and there was never any sexual perversion. Those demons usually were in someone causing them to harm themselves.
Yeah, physical harm.
You know what I'm saying? Like when they were harming themselves. These niggas ain't filled with no demon. These niggas just nasty. A faggot ain't filled with a faggot demon. That nigga just confused.
If that's the case, it's a lot of them.
A adulterer's not filled with an adulterous demon. That nigga just ain't loyal to his wife.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? A whoremonger ain't filled with a whoremongering spirit. That nigga just nasty. He just like to sleep with different women. And like he said, it come down to you ain't got no self-control. You can't control yourself. So every impulse that your flesh has, you gonna act on it. And then it's easy to say, the devil made me do it. I got a spirit in me. You ain't got nothing in you but a perverted mind. We just read it last night. He made man upright, but man sought out many inventions. You sought out that purpose to go do that. And you trying to use the word of Elohim to justify your perversity. That's it. That's it. Nigga just want to. One of them niggas got a fine cousin, and they want to sleep with him, or they slept with him, and now they trying to make themselves feel better about it to see if they can get a cheerleading squad to go along with it. Shake their pom sleep with your cousin.
And then it goes like what you were saying last night with the temptation. Shoot, auntie might be throwing it. Then what?
Then what? What did auntie offering that butt?
Then what?
Tell auntie,
Antoine Fisher. Then what? Then what? What you gonna do?
What you gonna do?
Better tighten up. Tell her tighten up.
Tighten up.
I ain't doing that.
So question, so why does the book tell you to preach the word that people might recover themselves from the snare of the devil?
The adversary, the snare of the devil is snare from his falsehood and his lies. Satan ain't in niggas. If he say you commit sin, you are of the devil, then you are ensnared of the devil. When Romans 6:16 says, whoever you lend your members to obey is to whom you obey. That's it, and you running with it. You know what I'm talking about? He ain't in a nigga. No, niggas. Don't listen. Yeah. Don't listen.
Yeah, it's just a weak mind. Your mind weak, you gonna go for game.
We just talked about that. If you and on top of that, because we already talked about this Wednesday, that you're not ignorant of his devices. So if you know his purposes, his inventions, and his plans, then you're not going to go for that. People go for it because they have the same purpose, plan, and invention within their own self. So it's nothing to go. Guess what, right? A woman ain't gonna have no sex with no dude if she don't want to have sex. She went along with it because that's what she wanted to do. You know what I'm saying?
She thought about it.
She thought about it. She said, because we already went over this here. A woman already knows she gonna give a nigga some butt when she meet him. She already know. It's on him if he gonna mess it up. Because it's already yours. You know what I'm talking about? It's just how long I'm gonna make you wait before I get to you. You know what I'm talking about? So she's already put that plan together. Might even sort it in her mind how it's gonna be when they do it. It never goes how they plan it in their brain. I just had a woman in my car the other day talking about I lost my virginity. He thought he was doing something, but really he was humping my leg the whole time. I made him think he took my virginity. I said, oh my. A little bit more information than I wanted to hear, but nevertheless, it was a white woman. It was funny though.
That boy said he was getting some thigh the whole time.
The whole time. I want to know what about your thigh made him mistaken.
That boy said he was getting some thigh.
Come on,
When it says Satan transformed his apostles, they had changed themselves into apostles.
No, he just said that they will transform themselves into ministers of righteousness.
Yeah, like people.
No, meaning they look like they righteous, but them niggas wicked. You talking about when he said his servants or his preachers, meaning these niggas out here telling lies. Pretty much, sons of Belial. But we got to work some on 5 o'clock. What's 4:30?
47.
One song, 147. Come on.
We at 8.
Verse 8.
It says, or 7. It says, sing unto Yahuwah with thanksgiving and sing praises upon the harp to our Elohim, who covered Shamayim with clouds and prepared the rain for earth, and maketh grass to grow upon the mountains.
Yep.
He giveth to the beasts his food, and the young ravens which cry. He delighteth not in the strength of the horse. He taketh not pleasure in the legs of man.
Yep.
Yahuwah taketh pleasure in them that fear him.
He take pleasure in who?
Them that fear him.
He take pleasure in who?
In them that fear him.
Go ahead.
And those that hope in his mercy.
That's who he take pleasure in. Hope in his mercy. Those who have faith in him. See, a lot of people don't have hope in his mercy. His mercy is Yahushua. They don't trust in that. Come on back to Luke 1, because now I got to roll.
I'm Luke 1 ready.
Come on, man. Where you stopped at? You stopped in verse 49.
49. It says,
You in verse, you can read 49. I ain't gonna kill nothing.
it says, for he that is mighty have done me great things, and Kadashis his name, and his mercy is on them that fear him from generation to generation.
His mercy ain't on nobody else that don't fear him. That means the blood of the Lamb, literally, that new covenant, that ain't on nobody but them that fear him. And a nigga can't tell you they fear y'all and don't keep a commandment, because that's a lie from hell. Go ahead.
He hath shown strength in his arm, and
He showed what with his arm?
Strength.
What is the Hebrew character for arm? And he said, who have he revealed his what? And who have believed his report? So he said he showed strength with his arm, which is a whole other thing we'll get to at another time. But that's Yahushua right there, right? That arm would to do what? To uphold you with the right arm of his righteousness. He said that in another place. He said he came to give you strength by Yahushua. And he told you that his strength was made perfect in what? Weakness. Which means it's made perfect in humility, to humble yourself, and he'll lift you up. But don't nobody want to do that. Come on, man.
It says he has scattered the proud in the imagination of their heart.
Go ahead.
He hath put down the mighty from their seats, and exalted them of low degree.
Go ahead.
He hath filled the hungry with good things, and the rich he hath sent away empty. He hath holpen his servant Yasharal in remembrance of his mercy.
Yep.
As he spake to our fathers, Abraham, and to the seed.
You should remember that from Genesis 15, because he spoke that mercy he was going to show to Yasharal there. But notice how he said that he scattered the proud in the imagination of their hearts, or the plans or the devices that they put together, right? We need to look in the law in Deuteronomy 29 and verse 17. Make it 15. Matter of fact, 14 is coming to mind, because we ain't hit a lot of precepts, so you know what that means? We finna start swimming in them.
It said, ye have seen their abominations and their idols.
You seen their what?
Abomination and idols.
What else?
Wood and stone.
Wood and stone.
Silver and gold.
Yes, sir.
Which were among them. Lest there should be among you a man or woman or family or tribe whose heart turneth away.
He say a man or who?
A man or woman or family or tribe whose heart turneth away this day from Yahuwah Elohim.
What he say to do?
To go and serve Elohims of these nations, lest there should be among you a root that beareth gall and wormwood.
Woo! You know they say that root? I mean, that would be a tree that bears sour or bitterness. Cause and you know what that take you back to? A corrupt tree can't bring forth nothing but corrupt fruit. Go ahead.
And it comes to pass when
Hold on. And that's going back to what we just talking about. Ain't no demons in these niggas. Ain't no unclean spirits in a lot of these people. They corrupt trees. So they bringing forth corrupt fruit. You know what I'm saying? Because he said you either got to make the tree good and the fruit good, or make the tree corrupt and the fruit corrupt. Because a good tree can't bring forth corrupt fruit, and a corrupt tree can't bring forth good fruit. So you got to sit back and look at niggas. If you saying you a good tree, but you continually doing evil things, then guess what we able to ascertain?
you are not a good tree.
You are not a good tree. Because of your actions. A nigga telling me I can sleep with my cousin, sleep with this person. You know what I'm saying? Some of these niggas out here doing threesomes. You know what I'm talking about? Wife swapping. You know what I'm saying? You're not a good tree. Niggas don't like good trees, because good trees put up the mirror that they wicked. You know what I'm saying? People have a lot of things to say about you when you actually stand for something and they don't. And they really just want name and fame and all that other type of stuff. It's shameful how many people want to have fame in the word. Very shameful. And that's a sign of pride. You know what I'm saying? Also low self-esteem. Because you need to be validated by being seen as somebody, when really all you supposed to be is a servant. That man say we are unprofitable servants. We just did what our duty was to do. That's what Mashiach told his apostles to say. He said, who's greater, him that sit at meat or him that serve? He said, him that sit at meat. He said, well, I sit amongst you as one that serve. So say, when you've done everything that you've been commanded, say I'm an unprofitable servant. I just did what it was my duty to do. These niggas ain't doing what it is they duty to do because they were never hired nor son to do the job. You hired yourself because you wanted the fame. You wanted the name. You wanted to be seen. You ain't a servant. You ain't here for the people. Because servants don't seek recognition for doing what they were sent to do. I'm just doing my job. My master will give me my recognition at the time appointed for completing the job. Not the person I'm serving is going to recognize me. Because I'm just doing what I was hired to do for them. You don't recognize the serve at Applebee's. They're doing their job. You may leave them a tip, which was no different what the tithe system was. It was a tip for these niggas doing their job. Do you know what I'm saying? You got to hit it with Sunday laboring, because we all know it's a little high now. We know servers only make $5.15 an hour. It used to be $2.13. You know what I'm saying? So what they're doing, they ain't making no money from it. So they make their money from the tips that the people leave for their service. That's all the whole tithes and offering system was for. These men had no inheritance whatsoever. Their inheritance was Yahuwah. That's why he commanded for you to give them a tip for their service. Because they ain't got nothing else. These boys were consumed with the labor and service of Elohim 24/7. You know what I'm saying? And dudes don't really recognize that that's what it was for. That's why they had it. You know what I'm saying? They didn't have it for no other reason. That's what it was for. What other inheritance did they have? Their job was to work in the temple and teach the people the law. That was their job. That's why he didn't want them doing nothing else. Did they have land that they tilled? Yes, they did. Did they have vineyards that they planted and cattle? Yes, they did. Because Yah gave them a spot for them to have that. But they job, but he wanted them focused on preaching that word though. So he said, this is what y'all gonna give to them. But in reality, you giving it to me. But just like, but see, and this thing I done told you this before too, and everybody in here know it. Don't think that nigga started misusing the money and the tithes recently, because them Levites was doing it then. They were doing it then. It's nothing new. Anything that anybody doing now, they had already done it before. Because that's why he said anybody who preached the word can't be greedy for filthy lucre's sake. Because for the word, you will pervert and corrupt. For the money, I should say, you will pervert and corrupt. And that's all. And that goes down to the person's heart, not the money, not the offerings, not the tithes. And get what? I always felt like this here. If you doing what you supposed to do and that nigga mismanaged the funds, so what? Keep on dropping it. All you doing is dropping coals of fire on his head, setting his damnation up. Let him be damned. Don't take his damnation away. Keep giving it to him.
That's what you supposed to do.
Cause that's what you supposed. That's how I always looked at it once I learned about it. Like, that's what you supposed to do. So you keep following the commandment of Yahuwah and you keep putting damnation on this nigga's head. You know what I'm saying? Because if he doing it and he wrong, y'all gonna see him about it. If you doing what you supposed to do, whatever you gave to y'all gonna give you that back, whether it be in this life or in the world to come. You know what I'm talking about? But that nigga going to hell. You know what I'm talking about? And he can't talk his way up out of it neither. That's how I look at it. If a nigga choose not to, I understand. But I just look at it as drop them coals on his head. Just drop them. Go home, sleep good at night. You know that nigga going to hell. But also at the same time, if you know that nigga mismanaging the money, it's time to slide up out of it anyway. Because 9 times out of 10, he doing other stuff he ain't got no business and he lying. You know what I'm saying? At the same token. It just don't stop there. Come on with it, man.
Let's do this.
Deuteronomy 29, what verse you in?
Let's do this. 19.
Mm-hmm.
And it came to pass when he heard the words of this curse that he blessed himself in his heart, saying,
he blessed himself in his what?
His heart, saying,
What he
I
say?
shall have shalom.
He'll have what?
I shall have shalom.
How you gonna have shalom, boy?
Even though I walk in the imagination of my heart to add drunkenness to thirst.
That he say he'll walk in the imagination of his what?
His heart.
To add what?
Drunkenness to thirst.
Mm-hmm.
And Yahuwah will not spare him, but then the anger of Yahuwah and his jealousy shall smoke against that man. And all the curses that are written in this book shall lie upon him. And Yahuwah shall blot out his name from under Shamayim.
So these people say we're going to walk around and the purposes and devices of our own heart. That's what he said they were going to do. He said if you say you're going to do it, it's a lot of people who go into hell behind that. Because that's what the law said. The law said I'm going to damn you for that. Because you say I'm going to walk around and do what I want to do, basically. And I don't care what he says. Back to Chronicles, man. 29. I don't know where you start at. What we dealing with is when he say scatter the proud and imagination of their hearts. So we got to tie all this in together. But I need to finish Chronicles 29 because we kind of left that. Verse 12.
It said, both riches and honor come of thee, and thou reignest over all, and thy hand is power and might, and thy hand it is to make great and to give strength unto all.
And we, like I say, we'll deal with that because his hand, you notice how he said his hand was to give. That's why we read that in Timothy about him being the savior for all. For Yahushua came to give strength to everybody.
It said, now therefore, Elohim, we thank thee and praise and esteem thy name.
Yeah.
But who am I?
Who am I?
And what is my people? That we should go and be able to offer so willingly after this sort. For all things come of thee, and of thy own have we given thee. Mm-hmm. For we are strangers before thee, and sojourners, as were all our fathers. Our days on the earth are as a shadow, and there is none about it. And Yahuwah Elohim, all this store that we have prepared to build thee a house from thy Kadash name, and it cometh of thine hand, and is still and is all thine own. I know also, my Elohim, that thou triest the heart, and hast pleasure in uprightness.
You have pleasure in what?
Uprightness.
That's what y'all got pleasure in. I don't know where they nigga get that from that he don't. He has pleasure in the things that are correct and just. That's why he said back when we read that in Jeremiah 9, when he said, these are the things that I delight in, judgment, mercy. You know what I'm talking about? This is what he have a delight in. And niggas don't delight in that. You know what I'm saying? Niggas done picked up their book and all they want to do is argue and debate. That's all they want to do. You know what I'm saying?
As for me, in the uprightness of my heart, I have willingly offered all these things. And now I have seen with joy thy people, which are present here, to offer willingly unto thee. O Yahuwah Elohim of Abraham, Isaac, and of Yasharah, our fathers, keep this forever in the imagination of the thoughts of the hearts of thy people, and prepare their heart unto thee.
Pause. You notice what he said? What do you think he's telling them to keep in the imagination of the people? What is he telling them to keep in your plans and devices? What do you think? What did he just tell you? If he just asked him to keep that in the thoughts, the plans, and devices of the people, what is he asking to keep in the people from what he just stated? Because what he's asking them to keep in the minds of the people, he just told you. Not to keep uprightness. He said these people came to offer willingly. They also wanted you to keep, what did he also want you to keep? That the riches and honor are with him, that he reigns over everybody, that power is with him, that strength comes from him, and that we should offer ourselves willingly unto him. Also that he has pleasure in the uprightness, and that he came to prepare a place for his people to dwell. And that this is what should be in our hearts and in our minds, or unless we're going to end up like that proud who gets scattered in the imagination of their thoughts. Or we get caught up like the proud who going to get cursed because they say, I'm going to walk in the imagination of my thoughts. So what he's basically telling you is to retain Yahuwah in your brain. See, go over here to Romans 1:21. And how will you be able to retain this man in your thoughts? You have to accept with meekness the engrafted word, which is able to save your soul. The word has to be written on the fleshly tables of your heart. And that's why niggas got problems. Because they not retaining that. It's not staying in their heart. He said, this is what the last part he said is, prepare their heart unto thee. Set the people heart up unto him. And the people not turning their hearts back to Elohim. They remain separated from him, and we separated because of all the knowledge that we believe we got. Every year, what do Hebrew niggas do? Argue and go off on people for celebrating Thanksgiving. Everybody's done it. But then you get to a point, these people going to keep this regardless. So what am I going to keep talking about it for? You know what I'm saying? These niggas really did a show with nothing but Hebrews. This is the part I didn't understand. You niggas did a blog talk with nothing with Hebrews on it, who you know ain't nothing but Hebrews gonna be listening about the origins of Thanksgiving. You're preaching to the choir. How does that help anybody? Because everybody's listening. It's on the same type of time that you on. Nobody who is not on that is going to listen to this. Maybe a few people if you shared it on your timeline. But in reality, the people at the house finna eat they honey baked ham, they roasted turkey, they stuffing, and do whatever it is they do with their people. No matter if a person don't want to stop doing it, they're not going to stop doing it. Me telling you every year about it is not going to change it. I'm not.
True, because Somebody told me that they said I know what it means, but I'm still eat. Like niggas already know what.
They already know, bro. They don't care. You know how many people know Christmas is pagan, bro? You know how many people? Everybody knows this. You know how many people know Easter is pagan, bro?
Niggas definitely know Halloween.
They know this.
Niggas don't care.
They don't care. You know what I'm saying? So leave them alone. I don't understand it. The book says if they don't receive your testimony, dust your feet off. These niggas, you ain't doing it for y'all, you doing it for yourself. You know what I'm saying? And you claiming you doing this for the people. You ain't doing it for the people, nigga. I ain't said nothing about Thanksgiving in about 3-4 years, and ain't finna say nothing about it. I don't care. I don't care. Yeah, that's an old clip.
Christmas being pagan. And he said, well, it might have started out that way, but it's not that way anymore.
Like everybody knows this, bro. It's not new information.
I ain't know what pagan was till I was grown.
I ain't gonna tell you no lie. For my mama still dealing with the word, she told me the pastor at her church told them, yeah, Christmas pagan, and I'm like, and you still do it? This nigga stood up in front of y'all and told y'all this other devil, and y'all still do it? That's what. And the reason why I say that because niggas is condescending, like people don't know stuff. People know stuff, they just choose not to do it. You know what I'm saying? I remember nigga told me, man, I went to talk to my grandma about the Sabbath. She said, oh yeah, we already know that, baby. They already know. See, we be thinking these people don't know. They already know, man. People don't care. So at that point, leave them alone. Let the book say if a man be ignorant, let the people wallow in their wickedness. I ain't finna be running a nigga down. You need to stop celebrating Christmas. Buy all your gifts. Then people say happy holidays to me. I say happy holidays to you, nigga. Happy holidays to you. You know what I'm saying? Do what you do. Like, I don't even get upset about it no more. One, because I know them people don't know that I don't celebrate that. It's a natural assumption that you do that. People naturally assume that. So why am I going to be mad at them people for that? I don't celebrate no Christmas. You the douchebag at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they don't know that. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times I just don't say nothing because I don't feel like having that conversation with you. I don't celebrate Christmas. A lot of times when you tell people you don't celebrate Christmas, they say, well, hey, Jesus bless you, and walk off. Okay. They don't care. They're not finna inquire. Why don't you celebrate Christmas?
Yeah, niggas definitely don't care.
They don't care. I picked somebody up last night, they say, man, did you eat well on Thanksgiving? I say, brother, I don't even observe that. Called you and kept on talking about it today. He asked why I didn't observe it. He didn't care. Oh, I ate a lot, man. I'm stuffed. People don't care, bro. They just trying to have a conversation. People just trying to be cordial, trying to be courteous. I don't even tell them Kira say she tell them have a nice day. They say happy holidays. I say happy. It is a happy holiday for you. Enjoy yourself.
You say happy holidays back, bro?
Enjoy yourself. Enjoy yourself. Most of the time I won't say nothing. You know what I'm talking about? But sometimes I be like, yeah, happy holidays to you too, buddy. You have your fun. It ain't gonna be fun for you in a minute. So you go ahead and have your fun. Have your fun. Of course I'm being sarcastic and condescending, but they don't know that. You know what I'm talking about? I'm being sarcastic. You know what I'm talking about? But they don't know that. That's funny for me. It's not funny for them. Because it's going to be funny for me when you get your head knocked off. Because you better believe, they knew about it before they hit that grave. And they going to know about it before that man comes swinging that sword.
That'd be the crazy part. Like,
they going to know.
You know better and you still do it?
I seen Bruce like this here. It's a day for family. Don't let nobody tell you don't go see your family. I seen a lot of niggas say it every year. Niggas say it every year. Don't let none of these brews tell you don't go see your family.
Pagan origin. The natives were just killed. Not pagans.
I wouldn't care what it was. I'm good.
Not against the Torah. Just go eat with your family.
White man with it, I don't want nothing to do with it. He made it up. I'm straight. And truth be told, if you dig, you gotta dig though. You gotta dig. It do got pagan origins, but you gotta dig. Children. No. Thank you. That's very nice. You can tap it back. Okay.
Go back there and sit down and finish.
Come on, man. We got to roll. Let's go.
It's very nice.
It is very Romans 1:21.
Thank you. I'll cherish it.
Yes, muffin.
It says, because that when they knew Elohim, they esteemed him not as Elohim, neither were thankful, but became vain in their imaginations, and their foolish heart was
They became
darkened.
what? Read it again.
Vain in their imaginations, and their foolish
chair
hearts
over
were
there?
darkened.
You want to sit over there? Go sit over
No, I
there.
don't think so.
Go sit down. Come on, read it again.
It says, because that when they knew Elohim, they esteemed him not as Elohim, neither were thankful, but became vain in their imaginations, and their foolish heart were darkened.
That's what ends up happening. He gonna dark. That's what he told you in in Deuteronomy 29. Because you become vain or worthless in your thoughts. We don't want to end up that way. Because he said their understanding gets darkened, and then it takes you to verse 28 where he say, because you didn't like to retain him in your knowledge, he gives you over to a reprobate mind. Because you didn't do what he said by keeping these things in your heart. 2 Corinthians 3:3.
3:3.
That's enough, Lizzie.
It says, for ye are not yet carnal, for whereas there is among you envying, strife, divisions, and ye are not carnal and walk as men.
2 Corinthians 3:3.
Oh, I thought you said first. Excuse me, sir. Second Corinthians. It says, for as much as you were manifestly declared by the epistle of the Mashiach, ministered by us, written not with ink, but with the Ruach of the living Elohim.
Now, you know the prophet Ezekiel spoke about how he would give you a heart of flesh and take away the heart of stone that was out of you. Because see, when you remember, Mashiach told you to do what, right? Eat this bread and drink this cup and often in remembrance of me. He also told you that the Comforter would bring to remembrance all the things that he said unto you. See, the reason why people fall off, quote unquote, is because the word is not in them, so it's not coming to remembrance. They're not keeping his name and his word in their heart. Abigail.
I've never seen her fall out.
Oh, she does it a lot. Throw a whole head back.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's her regular. Yeah, that's her.
Caught me off guard.
So we have to think about that. He said it written on fleshly tables of the heart and not on tables of stone. Because you know why? Because you couldn't carry those tables of stone with you. You can't carry that scroll with you. You know what I'm saying? It was never about the scroll. It was never about the table of stone. It definitely ain't about no fringes. Because that's not in your heart. You know what I'm saying? It's the events, the inventions, the intentions, and the imaginations of the plans that's in your mind is what the problem is. You change those and you'll be all right. You know how you know you remember y'all? Let's just use the most basic of thing that messes a man up. He see a nice looking woman who's attracted to whatever nice is to him, because that's always subjective. And then he go to think about what he would like to do to her. But you know what happens when he remembers y'all? I'm not doing that. And he casts it down and he moves on by this day. Somebody who doesn't remember y'all, they dwell on it more and more. You know, next thing they do, hey girl, what's your name? Where you going? What's your phone number? You want to go out tonight? Next thing you know, sin has been conceived and now death has been birthed. You know what I'm saying? Because they didn't remember him. And I'm just using that as this. That's the most basic thing you could think of. Because with most men, that's their problem. And I'm going out from me just talking to people that most men, that's their problem.
Sorry to share over here.
Just like I seen somebody asking is masturbation a sin. That's the dumbest question you could ever see. Clearly, because you're lusting. Do you know what I'm saying? If you feel the need to do that, that's a desire of the flesh, which means it needs to be crucified. Which means you need to check the inventions and intents of your heart. Why are you at this point where you're lusting physically? At this point, you feel the need to touch yourself. Because you think about sex when you're doing it. Sex with somebody you ain't married to. Then I seen somebody, well, what if your husband do it? Or your wife do it. And I'm like, what's wrong with you niggas?
Y'all married. Like, what would you?
If you married and that's how y'all get down, that's not masturbation at that point. That's called a hand job. I mean, masturbation is self-inflicting. You're not masturbating if she's touching you. That's just like if you decide to do one on your wife. She's not masturbating, you're touching her. Man, everybody here grown, nigga. Well, you gotta, see what I'm saying? Shoot, all these children in here, you know these niggas grown. Shoot. I'm just being honest though. There's a difference though. That's not masturbation. Okay. It's a hand job. That's your wife pleasuring you. If that's how you want to get off, that's your business. I ain't got nothing to do with that. It ain't anal, it ain't oral, so shoot, that's up to y'all.
It's all lawful, yeah.
Yeah, it's all lawful. No sin has been committed. No sin has been committed. No harm, no foul. That marriage bed has not been defiled. That's not my hat, baby. That's his hat. I'm just saying, shoot.
Yes, it is, Elizabeth.
Go ahead, man.
Take it, Ray.
I'm just saying, we got to deal with it because you got dudes that say nothing wrong with you anally penetrating your wife. Definitely something wrong with that.
The Lord believe that.
That nigga nasty. I always.
That's cool. You said that's cool.
Yeah, the Lord said, yeah. The Lord.
I always felt like that before the word. If you go in a woman booty hole, you're going to man booty hole. Cause boy, I don't want no booty hole. I don't care who it's attached to. I don't want no booty hole. ain't nothing natural about booty hole. No sir, no sir. I'll be the woman to my. I like anal. She gonna like it by yourself. I don't participate in that, baby. You's a freak. What that nigga? How they say? You's a freak, huh? I ain't on that. I'm gonna skip the Hershey Highway. You got that to yourself.
Hey, bro. Is we done, Chris?
Yeah, man, we done. I'm good on that, baby. That's not normal, baby. That's not normal. What we was? Psalms what? 62.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, marital oral sex is wrong. Shoot, you look up the word sodomy, it's anal and oral copulation. You ain't got no business putting your mouth on nobody's penis or your mouth on nobody's vagina. That's old Baal Peor. Look it up. We didn't talk about that in the past. Look it up. That Baal Peor worship. Little Baal worship. Go ahead, kiss the ring. Go in the hell behind it. I'm good on that.
62.
No. Give me Psalms 21 and 27. You know, a lot of brews got a problem with that. It's not a sin. It don't say that in the Torah. Well, keep on sucking then. That's what you do. Job 21 and 27. Keep on sucking and keep on trucking. That's what I tell them. I ain't on that. You know, a lot of brews get mad. That ain't defiling the marriage bed. Stupid nigga don't even know what that means. Defiling the marriage bed means you're having sex and you're not married. That's how you defile your bed, you clown. Not you can do anything in there. You know what I'm talking about? So is it cool for you to get a dildo and sodomize your husband? Is it not defiled? They're like, come on, let's be serious. I'm just saying, shoot.
There's several examples that you just be like,
are you serious? Niggas felt like wife swapping wasn't defiling the marriage bed. We married, we could do it. Niggas felt like I got two wives, we can have a threesome, and these niggas really felt like they weren't defiling the marriage bed because we married. While this woman is performing lesbian acts on another woman. So so some of this stuff has to be stated matter-of-factly and clearly. If you look in the law, Deuteronomy 22 tells you how a marriage bed is defiled. You can defile a marriage bed by one or two reasons: committing adultery or having sex and you're not married. Therefore, that bed is defiled. Niggas so dumb trying to make it contemporary, thinking that means you can do anything in the bed. You know what I'm talking about? No, man, y'all ain't with all that. Your wife licking your booty hole, nigga, you effeminate.
the sound of that, the thought of that.
I'm for real, because where does it stop?
I'm just saying, you have to look at your wife in the face after this.
You know what I'm saying? Man, you gonna go pray to the Lord. Lord, I love you. Get that doodle off your face, nigga. Dookie fade nigga. Nah, here you out here praying to me, talking about you the head. You ain't none of my people with your butt in there, nigga. I don't breed them type of churn.
I couldn't even tell you all the things the Lord said I said, man.
I can tell you that nigga a freak. If you post your bare penis on the internet, nigga, everything is in bounds. That nigga's a freak. Right here talking about, come on here, girl, let me slide. No. You shouldn't. A real virtuous woman wouldn't even want you in her butt. She gonna look at you like, sir, are you? That's sodomy. He said no sodomites. You going to hell. You a sodomite. It doesn't matter if it's attached to a woman. Hey, sure, I know he don't. Well, shoot, go ahead then. He can believe a lot of things then.
That's why I believe you can do that.
I know he do, but even he, I know you know why he believe you can do that? Because he like to do that. It might be against the law in Texas to slide down a nigga booty hole. That's a dookie shoot. You ain't supposed to be sliding in no shoot for refuge. Don't slide in there. Nothing belongs in there. That is not an entryway. That is an exit way. The only thing you're supposed to be going into is a woman's vagina. That's what he made that for. So you could sit back and you could get a little pleasure while you're married and produce some offspring if you're lucky.
You can get more for you.
I'm saying, it even sets up for that cause. He made a woman's vagina for that cause. It has everything in the inner workings of it to produce that activity. A booty hole don't do nothing but stay there. He just waiting for you to put some food in there so he could push the waste out. You know what I'm talking about? And you want to go up in there. What's in here?
That boy, that go hard.
Nasty buzzer, but I say, man, I mean, regardless of him, I felt like that before the word, man. Boy, you go in a nigga booty hole, boy, you hit a boy. Nigga like, oh, that's a woman. I don't care what it was, nigga. You a sodomite, nigga. Nigga talking about he don't believe. He don't tell me he don't believe because he believe against homosexuals. That nigga say, why would God create a playground next to a sewage? Hey, you supposed to kick a nigga in his chin for that. Because your brother, that's what DC say, what a nigga said to him. Why would God create a playground next to a sewage? Sure, what you mean? Nigga, the waste got to go somewhere, nigga. Look here, right? I had somebody tell us one time, why does everything that's fun God say don't do? Come on, man. Job 21:27.
Yeah, that's crazy. I'm thinking about what else would it be?
Where you gonna put it on your nipple, nigga?
It's gonna come out your mouth?
Some of these niggas, it is coming out their mouth. How they nigga breath stink? Oh, I'm talking about honky mouth looking nigga.
Job 19.
21, sir. I don't know where you got 19 from.
Oh, it's on the page.
21:27.
What is that? Behold, I know your thoughts and devices which ye wrongfully imagine against me.
What are these thoughts and devices that he knows are being imagined against him? And this is Job talking.
For ye say,
pause. What do we think we can line that up with? He says, behold, I know your thoughts and the devices which you wrongfully imagine against me. That one there too, but what about all the time he say, why do evil thoughts arise in your hearts? Who say when they said, who can forgive sins but God? How many times it said how he knew what these people's thoughts was and what their plans was? You know what I'm saying? Because remember, that's why I specified, this Job talking. So you know, if this Job talking, you know who this gonna line up with. Let's look at the next thing, Job. And this is Job talking to his friends now.
He said, for ye say, where is the house of the prince?
And where is the what?
And where is the dwelling place of the wicked?
John 8:20. So where's the house of the prince? Where is the house of the prince? Let's see.
It says, these words spoke Yahushua in the treasury as he taught in the temple, and no man laid hands on him, his hour was not yet come.
So where's the house of the prince? Where the prince reside at? Do we got to pull Ezekiel chapter 40 and see where the prince reside at? Where he dwell at? In the temple. In the house of Elohim. Come on.
It says, then said Yahushua again to them, I go my way, and ye shall seek me, and ye shall die in your sins. Whither I go, ye cannot come.
So now he's telling you where his house is at. Where is that place where he was going where they couldn't come? Shamahim, sitting right hand in the temple of Elohim in Shamahim. which we dealt with New Jerusalem last week, right? That's coming down unto men. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Then said Yahushua again, unto them I go my way, and ye shall seek me, and shall die in your sins. Whether I go, ye cannot come. Then said the Yahudim, will he kill himself?
Paul. So where's the dwelling place of the wicked? Where's the dwelling? Where is? Well, let's see where the dwelling place of the wicked is. Revelation 20 and 15. They got a dwelling place too. They got to live somewhere too.
It says, and whosoever was not found written in the book of life was cast into the lake of fire.
That's where they live at. And why do they live there? Because of the thoughts that they imagined against Elohim. Get me to the Epistle of Jude, verse 14. Hey, Malia. I see you.
It says, and Enoch, also the seventh from Adam, prophesied of these, saying, behold, Yahuwah cometh to 10,000 of his saints. Well, the master come with 10,000 of his saints to execute judgment upon all, and to convince all that are ungodly among them of all their ungodly deeds that they have ungodly committed, and of all their hard speeches which their ungodly sinners have spoken against him.
All them hard speeches what they had unspoken.
These are murmurs, complainers, walking after their own lust.
After their own what?
Their own lust.
That's their problem.
And their mouth speaking great swelling words, having men's persons in admiration because of the vanity.
Come on back to Job. I can't remember what song we started with. It wasn't 62. Go ahead.
It says, have ye not asked them that go by the way, and do ye not know their tokens? That the wicked is reserved to the day of destruction.
We already read that, but you know the way he said have they not asked to go by thy way? Then he just told them they couldn't go where he was going, because they were asking him how he was going to get them. They said, oh, you can't go where I go. Say they don't even know their tokens. Let me see what that word for token is. For sure, yeah. Well, I'll be glad when that nail come off. That junk looks very ugly. That junk looks like I got ink on my hand. That ain't no ink though.
You like it's still swollen.
It ain't. That's just the nail. No, it's not though. Maybe the back part look like that because all that blood in there, but it ain't swollen though. Because ain't no more pain. Yeah, we got a distinguishing mark, a banner of remembrance, a miracle, a sign, a token, an ensign, a standard, a miracle of proof. So they want to know. So then we asked the question. That man, they asked, do you not know their proof? Get me Luke. Was that Luke 16? Is it Luke 16? Or is it Matthew 16? I think it's Matthew 16. 16 and 1. Yes, it is.
And the Pharisees also with the Sadducees came tempting, desired him that he should show them a sign.
They wanted a token, a miraculous sign. What he told them?
And he answered and said unto them, when it is evening, ye say it will be fair weather, for the sky is red, and in the morning it will be foul weather today, for the sky is red and lowering.
Lowering? Well, not lowering seasoning salt.
Lowering. It says, oh, ye hypocrites, ye can discern the face of the sky, but ye cannot discern the signs of the time.
What else he told?
It said, wicked adulterous generation seek after a sign, and there shall no sign be given unto it but the sign of the prophet Jonah.
And what was that sign?
And he left them and departed.
What was that sign of the prophet Jonah?
The belly of the days.
So that time and token for them was the time that he was in the grave. So they didn't know where he was going and they didn't know the sign. Come on back to Job. 21.
It says that the wicked is reserved for the day of destruction. They shall be brought forth to the day of wrath.
We read about that in Thessalonians a little bit, but we didn't read it all. So we'll read it all. 2 Thessalonians 1 and 7. Is that funny for you?
It says, and to you who are troubled, rest with. This is 2 Thessalonians.
Yep, 1 and 7.
It says, and to you who are troubled, rest with us when the Master Yahushua shall be revealed from Shamahim with his mighty Malachim, and the flaming fire taking vengeance on them that know not Elohim and that obey not the Basura of our Master Yahushua Mashiach.
He gonna kill them all.
Who shall be punished with everlasting destruction from the presence of Yahuwah and from the esteem of his power.
That's good. Come on back. Verse 31 is where you be.
It says, who shall declare his way to his face, and who shall repay him
Who gonna be the one to pay these people back? He just told you who we're gonna pay
what
them
he
back.
have done?
Cause when we say who gonna declare it to his face, now get Matthew chapter 22, man. Pit him about verse 11.
It says, and when the king came to see his guests, he saw there was a man which had not on a wedding garment.
He didn't have on a what?
A wedding garment. And he said unto him, friend, how comest thou hither not having wedding garment?
Hush, Lizzie.
And he was speechless.
He was what?
He was speechless.
So who's going to declare his way to his face? Read that part again.
It says, and he said unto him, friend, how comest thou hither not having a wedding garment? And he was speechless.
What this man didn't have on?
He had a white robe.
That's exactly what he didn't have on. Give me Romans 8 and 9.
What is it?
Go sit down, Renee. Go. Renee. Go sit down.
It says, but ye are not in the flesh, but in the Ruach, if so be that the spirit, the Ruach of Elohim dwell in you. Now if any man have not the Ruach of Mashiach, he is none of his.
He is what?
He is none of his. And if Mashiach be in you, the body is dead because of sin.
So now when you look at it right, how you said that man was speechless, how many people you think gonna stand before that man? Give me 2 Corinthians 5 and 8. How many people you think gonna stand before that man's face and have something to say? Because he had already told you in Deuteronomy chapter 7 that he gonna replay the wicked right back to their face. That's what the law say. He said,
That's hard.
I know it. You gotta go sit down,
They
baby.
gonna look in your face.
Y'all know what that said in Deuteronomy? Well, we'll read it anyway. Read that and get Deuteronomy 7 and 9, just in case. Just gotta make sure. Some people may not be familiar.
You want to do it first?
No.
Corinthians, right?
Yep. I would have said, didn't it? Say who shall? It said he was speechless. What you gonna say? Ain't nothing to talk about.
You want 4?
2 Corinthians 5 and 8.
My bad. It said, we are confident, I say, and willing rather to be absent from the body and be present with the master. Wherefore we labor that, whether present or absent, we may be accepted of him. For we must all appear before the judgment seat of the Mashiach.
You must all what?
Appear before the judgment seat of the Mashiach.
How many people you ever read in this book when they were getting judged, they had something to say? Did that man who picked up sticks on the Sabbath, did he plead his case? Did David get a chance to plead his case when his judgment got rendered down? What about Saul? What were all of them all had in common? They were speechless. What can you say? You can't say nothing. So the best option is to do what? Get it right and keep it right. Go ahead.
It says, for we must all appear before the judgment seat of the Mashiach, that everyone may receive the things done in his body according to that he have done, whether it be good or bad. Knowing therefore the terror.
Knowing the what?
Knowing the terror.
Knowing the what?
The terror. We persuade men, but we are made manifest unto our.
I mean, say knowing the terror. Don't you think? How many of y'all ever been terrified in your lifetime? When you were terrified in them instances, were you able to open your mouth or were you speechless? Because a lot of times when people get terrified, they usually freeze. Can't really think straight. Want to say something, can't talk. You just like this here. That's how you're going to be when you stand before this man and you're on the wrong side of that sword. Ain't nothing to say. And then he got to pay you back. Deuteronomy 7 and 9. He already got to pay you back because you killed him. He already got to pay you back because of the injustice and wrong judgment that has proceeded in the earth. He also got to pay you back for the idolatry and the wickedness and the perversity.
Know therefore that Yahuwah the Elohim, he is Elohim, the faithful Elohim, which keepeth covenant and mercy with them that love him and keep his commandments to 1,000 generations. And repay of them that hate him to their face.
He repay who? What? Say what?
Repay them that hate him to their face.
To their what?
To their face.
To their what?
To their face. To destroy them. He will not be slack to him that hateth him.
He will not be slack.
He will repay him to his face.
To his face. And we didn't read verse 12, but didn't it say, but Paul just told us that every single solitary man, woman, and child in the history of mankind must step before that man's throne and look him in his face and answer for everything they done did. And they gonna be speechless. And you seen that man, he have no wedding garment on, he was speechless. Why was he speechless? Because the Ruach of Mashiach was not in him. See, now we were clowning around about it, but let's just be serious. You want to go in somebody's booty hole, you're going to be speechless. Male or female. You know what I'm saying? You like to lie and steal, you're going to be speechless. You like to be an idolater, you like to be a hypocrite, you're going to be speechless. All because of the wicked imaginations that you imagine in your heart for the plans and devices and inventions that you wanted to execute. You know what I'm saying? And you walked around and said you would have shalom and bless yourself in your heart, saying Yah is blessing you and with you, but I will walk in the imagination of my own heart. That's the definition of wickedness. Where you can sit back and say that my plans and my thoughts of my own heart trump Yahuwah's, and I don't hate it. It's niggas that we all know who claim to be servants of Yah that we know them niggas hate God. And I have no problem telling them niggas that to their face. They can get mad all they want, and I'm basing it off of your actions, not my personal opinion. Look at what you did. You have a pattern. See, we ain't talking about you did something one time, you learned from it, you didn't do it no more. You niggas have a pattern. And I'm talking about over the course, everybody doesn't know, maybe know every person. I'm talking about the course of however long you've been walking in the Word. I've been doing this for 8 years. I know plenty of niggas who say they love Yah and they hate him. You know what I'm talking about? And I can tell them that to their face. And everybody in here knows that niggas don't want to hear that. Or if you say that, see, you think you this, or you think you that. I don't think I'm nothing, but I can judge properly, nigga. Nigga, you hate God, nigga. Look at your work, nigga. Look at your resume. Do you not realize your life is your resume to Elohim? That's what you submit to him, that you can be hired to enter into his kingdom. That's your resume. He just told you you're gonna answer everything you've done in this body, whether it be good or evil. So this is your resume. So when you submit your resume in, are you gonna get the job? Because if you put in your resume, you done had 10 different jobs, right? And that don't necessarily mean you left jobs on bad terms, but everybody in here know that a lot of employers don't like when they see you change jobs a lot. You know what I'm saying? It reflects negatively to them. I don't understand why it would. Maybe I just didn't want to work here anymore. I saw a better opportunity and I moved on. Do you know what I'm saying? That's how I looked at it. Maybe it was a scheduling conflict. Like I would not have to know the details on that. Because you change jobs a lot don't mean you got fired a lot.
When it's a nigga, they feel like, you know.
Yeah, I already know.
It's a stick when that nigga's body in, you know.
Yeah, they I don't want to work here. I want to quit. This, that, there, and the third. Because, you know, all of us probably done had resume writing classes in school and they told you about that type of crap. You know what I'm saying? But I'm more realist with that. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I was working here for a little while. I didn't want to work here anymore. I wanted to work somewhere else. You know what I'm saying?
You done got fired from the job?
Oh yeah, I got fired from KFC for knocking their dome loose. McDonald's for the very same reason.
They ain't personal charge?
Press charge for what? I never got caught.
Then how you got fired?
Nigga told on me. They ain't catch me with nothing. They couldn't prove it. I was good at what I did. You know what I'm saying?
Why they told on you? They were hating?
I don't know. I think one person they ain't really know how, and then shoot. I don't know how I went at McDonald's. I ain't kettle. Nigga, I was there for the purpose of hitting their head, hitting them across the head.
This nigga was a thief.
No, nigga, we were doing bad. My homeboy said, boy, you could sting him. He got mad because I showed him how to do it. That nigga taking $10, $20 here. Nigga, I'm going to go ahead and get the whole $500, $600. I ain't finna play with him. I needed it too. You know what I'm saying? They were like
just chunking up his food also.
They were chunking up like we mad. Shoot, they ain't do no pulls on their drawer. All you had to do was ring up a newspaper and swipe him. I needed that. Boy, we were doing bad. Like real life bad. Like not just saying you doing bad. Like this live or die type situation. Gotta do what you gotta do. You know what I'm talking about? Play with it if you want to. Some everybody ain't been in them type of, and at that time I wasn't doing no crimes like in the street type crimes. So shoot, nigga,
That was your debut looking boy.
oh no, nigga, I was already stinking KFC for then, nigga. Get it right.
I'm talking about the crime, the stealing.
Shoot, nigga, I was doing that at KFC before I worked at McDonald's. Nigga, I memorized the entire menu board. Shoot, you pull up there, I want an 18, 12 piece meal. All right, that's $21.83, nigga. You shoot me $22, I'm gonna give you 17 cents out my pocket. And I'm gonna keep that. Make 150 up the books every day. I work 6 days a week. Oh, but I already know how much chicken gonna become missing in the back when I do that. I mean, like I said, man, I had all that mapped out. I done told you that before, man. I used to sting them niggas, man, go buy a bag of weed and get my money back.
But he hurting though. Stay with the sight.
No, nigga, I'm talking about when we got to McDonald's though. Oh no. I mean, I ain't going into great detail, nigga. We talking about do or die. Like straight up. Like, nigga, it's serious, nigga. Ain't no, oh, you got some money, stay with a bag, nigga. This is survival right now. This is what I gotta do. And then it just transition, shoot, we finna sell these rocks, nigga. I started with weed. Call the case, I'm going ahead and get these rocks.
Call it weed case.
Call it weed case. I told you how I caught that case, man. My homeboy like the police out there, boy, just wait. I'm like, man, that nigga, I got serves down here. I'm finna caught the weed and dip. Had to go to the store to get it loose. That nigga ran up on me. What you doing out here? Had the weed in my pocket. You know what I'm saying?
He did tell that.
Yeah.
You getting all loose?
Yeah, I didn't finna grab me a cigarette for the ride back. Nigga, I'm way over here on Atlantic. I gotta go to Atlantic Beach. I'm over here in my neighborhood. Nigga, I'm in zone 3. Nigga, that's a long ride. I want me a cigarette before I go to the house. Shoot. Too big. They're keeping it real with you. You know what I'm saying? Got out of jail, started working at Dairy Queen, took that last $40 check, and got on, nigga.
$40? Damn, what you work 2 days?
Man, they wasn't making no money at that Dairy Queen, man. You know what I'm saying? And then after that, we started clicking and clocking, and then that first school check slid through for that semester. Bought nothing but coke with it. None but dope. You know what I'm saying? It was about $800, bought straight dope with it. I'm playing with it, I'm trying to get paid. And if I would've got locked up, I would've took my student loan check, I would've bought some coke, flipped it, and paid it back. Had my credit grade 8, and came up off of them too. So that's the only reason why I took the student loan. I was gonna buy some coke. Straight up. I'm just being honest. I had it all planned out, mapped out, all that. You know what I'm saying? Where you at though, man?
You just finished duty, holding a little Job.
Yeah, let's go ahead, man. Go back to Job 21 and we gonna wrap it up at verse 32.
32. Job.
Read verse 32 and we're going to start right here. It's 5:30. We got to set this room back up so we can get out of here before these people go to crime.
It say, yet shall he be brought to the grave and shall remain in the tomb.
Now, all of that what we read in Job 2. Hey. Stop without all that yelling. Nobody wants to hear that. So what you think he mean when he say y'all going to remain in the tomb? Read that verse to him again.
It says, yet. Mar.
Ain't no huh. You know you wrong. Upside your butt.
It say, yet shall he be brought to the grave and shall remain in the tomb.
So what y'all think that mean based off every verse that we just read? He say the wicked, he gonna repay them to their face, yet they will go to the grave and remain in the tomb. What you think he talking about?
They ain't gonna see the second resurrection.
There it is. Revelation 20 and 4. If they gonna remain in the tomb, that means when the dead and the Mashiach rise first, they not getting up. They not getting up. 20 and 4. They not getting up.
It said, and I saw thrones, and they sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them, and I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of the Mashiach, for Yahushua, and for the word of Elohim, which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had received his mark upon their foreheads or their hands, and they lived and reigned with the Mashiach 1,000 years. But the rest of the dead lived not again.
They live not
again till the 1,000 years were finished. This is the first resurrection.
So they ain't even got repaid back to their face yet.
After 1,000 years.
After the 1,000 years, they get paid. How do we know this? Because the verse we read about them being paid in this chapter is after what he's saying right here. So Job is saying that all, and when we look at the imagining of the thoughts, all the sins, all the plans, all the stuff that people had in their head to do, the man said, I'm going to pay you back for it and you're going to remain in the grave. But when you come up out of that grave, it's going to be ugly for you, and you're going to be speechless. Because I'm going to pay you back to your face for what you have done. And all because that you could not control the plans and devices and purge out your heart. So you could purge out your heart and be saved. The Master said in John 15, you are clean from the word which I have spoken unto you. Psalms 119:8 said, how can a young man cleanse his way? But by taking heed according to your word. Did not David pray that he cleanse him in the inward parts in the 51st Psalm? See, people don't want to be cleansed in the inward parts because they want to appear to be righteous the whole time living wickedly. But no one believes you. Because, nigga, just like you said before we conclude. Y'all know people, word or no word, y'all know people who put on Facebook that the life that they present in the internet is not them in real life. That's not you. You don't live like that. That's not your life, nigga. You're not happy. You're not balling. You sleep on a blow-up mattress, hope. You go from couch to couch. You're not a model. You're a low-grade prostitute. Niggas say they the dope man. Niggas selling apes of weed. Niggas buying an ounce of weed trying to come up. How you the weed man? You only buying an ounce at a time. How you a drug kingpin? You never bought more than 4.5 ounces of coke. How you a pimp? You ain't got no hoes. You know what I'm saying? How you a murderer? You ain't never shot your gun. It's never been discharged. You ain't even went to the range and shot it. How you a killer killing clouds? Nigga won't point his gun at nobody, just the sky. How you righteous, but you live wickedly when nobody's looking? Some of these niggas live wickedly while niggas looking and don't even care. How you wicked and do something wrong and get mad when a nigga tell you wrong? And I'm talking about get mad when they tell you wrong because you wanted them to agree with what you were doing. That's what niggas do though, man. But nevertheless, man, hallelujah for y'all for shot, man. We gotta stop, man. Put this stuff up. If you were sitting